Sports Radio Channel 84. Go to SiriusXM.com for the full schedule. Brought to you by Best Western. Life's a trip. Make the most of it at Best Western.
Traveling in basketball? Bad move. Traveling the world? Great move. Wherever the road takes you, Best Western is your place to take a time out and catch your breath. Because every team needs a place to regroup. Life's a trip. Make the most of it at Best Western. Book direct and save at bestwestern.com.
Sirius XM College Sports Radio, your home for all breaking news in the college sports world. Channel 84.
Gainey against Richard, Clayton, and Martin.
And I'll tell you what, Jemai Meshack and Zakai Ziegler, both all SEC defensive team cats. It is maybe the best matchup you could see just for the theater of guys defending these Florida guards.
Well, the key to both teams is how well they guard plays. Whether they're knocking down shots from outside, putting pressure and turning the guys over. But what I love about the experience of these players is you get to a championship game, you can't make many mistakes. You got to knock down shots from outside, and you got to take advantage of the opportunities when there are transition points that you can get those. But also we know it's going to be a half-court game between these two coaches. It's going to be the battle of coaches understanding what's going to help their team succeed today.
I feel like we're in a sci-fi movie right now. There are amber spotlights on the far side on some of the Tennessee fans right now. The lights are out generally here in the arena. You feel like Florida might score 60 anyway with the lights out, considering how they've played offense during this tournament. The last time they scored under 80 was February 22nd, but Tennessee's defense at 62 points a game allowed can be absolutely stifling. And when Florida has the ball, for me, is the most interesting matchup of this game today.
But Florida's not trying to hold the ball. They're not trying to run time off the shot clock. They want to score as quick as easily as they can. They're not looking, and they don't want Tennessee to set up their defense. Tennessee is a great half-court defensive team, and it starts with Zakai Ziegler, Meshack. Those guys put a lot of pressure on perimeter players, but these Florida guards are experienced. They've been in these games before. I'm looking forward to a great matchup in the backcourt.
Here is our public address announcer, John George, with the starting lineups.
7, Igor Milicic Jr. At forward, a 6'11 junior from Nigeria. Number 34, Felix Akpara. At guard, a 6'4 senior from Fontana, California. SEC All-Defensive Team. Number 15, Jemai Meshack. At guard, a 6'5 senior from Nashville, Tennessee. Second team All-SEC. And SEC Newcomer of the Year, number 2, Chaz Lanier. And at guard, a 5'9 senior from Long Island, New York. First team All-SEC. All-Defensive Team and Defensive Player of the Year, number 5, Zakai Ziegler. Head coach for the Volunteers, Coach Rick Barnes. Now the Florida Gators. At guard, a 6'4 senior from Fairburn, Georgia. Number 5, Will Richard. At guard, a 6'2 senior from Summit, Mississippi. Number 15, Elijah Martin. At center, a 6'11 sophomore from Perth, Australia. Third team All-SEC. Number 21, Alex Condon. At forward, a 6'10 sophomore from Nigeria, number 9, Ruben Chinyelu. And at guard, a 6'3 senior from Lake Wales, Florida, first team All-SEC, number 1, Walter Clayton Jr. Head coach for the Gators, Coach Todd Golden.
You may hear it in your car or your living room or whatever it might be, but the smoke machines that went off are epic. It's a loud billow of smoke. And I will say, like, you don't see that much smoke all in one place unless you're watching, like, season 3 of Lost.
You know what I love about it? It lets you know it's a championship game that's about to take place today. Two of the best teams in the conference. High-octane offense against one of the most stifling defenses in the country.
We are a row behind the front row. Coordinator of officials Mike Eads is right in front of us, and I'm just happy Mike has all of his hair on his head after the smoke that just went off. And Florida hopes that it can set sort of a 3-alarm pace in this thing, and it'll be very interesting to see how they shoot the ball, because in the 2 meetings in the regular season, which were blowouts each way, the home team won huge each time. Florida shot 10 for 47 from 3, and that's very typical for Tennessee, who is the #1 3-point shooting defense in the country. What are you watching as Tennessee defends these Florida guards and runs them off the 3-point line?
Well, how quickly Tennessee gets back in transition to match up with their shooters. And for the shooters of Florida, are they going to be able to put the ball on the floor, or are they going to be a catch-and-shoot team? But when you have great guards in the backcourt, those guards make adjustments to a stellar defensive team by Tennessee, so I'm looking forward to the backcourt matchup of both teams.
Tennessee 64-44 on February 1st. A month before at the O'Connell Center, 73-43. The Gators by 30 at Exactech Arena. Oh, it is bright orange in here, and it's a lot of folks from down the road apiece in Knoxville. Chinyalu and Akpara. Couple of young men by way of Nigeria to the SEC. The championship game of, as Stephen called it, and he's exactly right, the toughest conference tournament in the land, and the tip is won by Akpara. Back to Zakai Ziegler. His steady hand flipping it around the perimeter through Milicic to Meshack. Now Akpara on the dribble. Got a handoff in the corner, Ziegler. Now Lanier, who had 10 in the first half yesterday. It's a dribble handoff, Ziegler, who rifles a 3 right wing, and it's down. Zakai Ziegler bags a 3, and it might be one of those days for him.
Off to a great start. When he knocked down shot from outside, it opens up their offense even more.
54th of the year for him. Now the Gators in white and blue piping. High on the left side, Clayton triggers a triple. That's good. 3-all, and we might have a shooting match today.
Back at you. We know Clayton's one of the best guards in the country, especially in transition.
Milicic comes in and knocks it down from the top of the key. He's from the North Adriatic, and right due north, he knocks down a triple.
Letting everyone know, hey, we can shoot threes right along with you guys.
Right of the circle 3, Clayton, no dice, a miss. Rebound Meshack for Tennessee coming left to right. They will tap the brakes for a mere moment. Now a hard drive down the baseline, and a pass deflected. Lanier trying the back door, and it will stay with Tennessee out of bounds off of Florida. 18:48 to go first half. 6-3 Tennessee. Inbound pass, right side Ziegler, gets it put right back into his belly by Milicic. Ziegler probing with the right foot, defended by Elijah Martin. He'll toss it high on the right side angle. It's Lanier sizing up 2 Gators. He'll float it far side left for Ziegler. Into the corner, that's a 3 in the air, no good for Meshack. And the rebound goes bounding over the sideline. It's touched by Florida and out of bounds to Tennessee.
I love the rotation by Florida, coming off of shooters, but leaving Meshack, who is not a great 3-point shooter, in the corner to take that shot. Florida can live with him taking threes from the outside.
Yeah, there's some guys back in the day that used to yell, "We'll live," when you took a 3 like that. Here is Tennessee with the basketball. Ziegler scouting out the perimeter, bounces Meshack right of the circle, defended by Clayton. Off to Lanier. He jumps for 3 right wing. That's no good. And a rebound. Foul against Tennessee as Condon just ripped it free.
You think about how well Florida has played. The underrated front line of Chinyalu and Condon have played exceptional in this tournament.
Chinyalu, 10 points, 10 rebounds in 16 minutes yesterday. A double-double in less than a half as Clayton rides into the lane, lost the ball, catches it back, fires it back out for Martin. A Euro step to the left side. He puts it up and in for 2. Elijah Martin, the transfer from FAU, makes it 6-5 Tennessee, 2 minutes in. Ziegler whips it behind him. Milicic bullying toward the lane. Kills the dribble wide right of the lane. Hands it off in the right corner. It's taken by Lanier there. Behind the back pass to Milicic. Around the arc it goes. Here's a drive. Meshack left pocket. Off to Ziegler. He'll jump for three left wing and hit nothing. Rebound for Condon, the Aussie. On a hit-ahead, play it for Clayton, trying to drive on Meshack, who stonewalls him. Great defensive matchup there. Tuck it into the post, Chinyelu. Mid-post right, he whirls and fires and misses too strong. Rebound Tennessee, 6-5 Vols, 17-22 in the first. Lanier hooks a pass for Okpara, who will hand it right back into the breadbasket of Lanier. He'll toss it mid-lane. Ziegler running down the lane, threw it, and it was intercepted. Picked off by Florida and Richard, picking his way top of the key. His three is wide left, and the rebound knocked around. Condon got a hand on it, and he's called for a foul. Alex Condon whistled for that one, his first.
Yeah, when you get to day three, your legs are the first thing that you feel, whether it's in transition, trying to get back, or making shots. And I'm sure from Florida having the depth, they're going to try to get into Tennessee's legs early and often.
How do you do that if you're Florida?
Every time you get the ball, you push it down the court. And they have three guards that are excellent at pushing the ball in transition. That's what they're going to do a great job of, to forcing that in that direction.
And a near takeaway. It's over on the sideline. Richard is hit and crumpled down. Milicic went down to the deck and sideswiped him. And the foul is on Milicic.
I like those hustle plays, but it's always at the risk of the guy, Achilles, knee, ankle. So sometimes, like I said, you have to let it go, but I give him 100% effort for going after that ball.
So now Florida basketball, dangerous play, especially close quarters over on the sideline there. Condon trots into the front court, hands it off for Richard. Three right wing, he striped it. All net for Will Richard, and Florida takes the lead. It's a quick 5-0 run for the Gators, 8-6, 16-36 in the first. Ziegler wandering around the perimeter in that creamsicle orange Rocky Top jersey. He's defended there by Aberdeen, who's checked in for Florida. Now Milicic back to Ziegler. For Milicic driving from the summit down the lane. He had his attempt swatted away. Condon comes up with it. Clayton head up on the dribble. He'll flick at Aberdeen. Touch pass down low, and Chinyelu spikes it home. One-timer like Steven Stamkos here in the home of the Predators. It's 10-6.
Florida having 16 points in transition. If you don't get back and guard boxing elbows and three-point line, they will be able to score.
That was all elbows from Chinyelu right there. Here is Tennessee with the basketball. Sweeping through, elbows out. Here's Lanier, a touch pass over to Milicic. Back to Lanier. His three bid is no good left wing. Rebound down for Florida, keeping Tennessee off the offensive glass, which is tough to do. Aberdeen puts it in reverse from the top of the key. He'll drive, he'll wheel, and fire from the foul line. It goes wanting, and the rebound is smacked out of bounds over the end line. And it looks like it's going to be Florida ball when we come back. 15:31 to go first half. Gators have to like this pace.
They love this pace, but they have really good inside interior physical rebounders, and that is the separator in all of college basketball.
10-6 your score. Florida the lead over Tennessee. 15:31 to go. Half number one. From Nashville, this is the SEC Radio Network.
Joe Montana here. In my football days, I knew the importance of a strong defense. Now I'm sharing how you can help defend your health against pneumococcal pneumonia and
Cheers, Insiders! Thanks for hanging out with us this afternoon, this evening, this morning, the middle of the night, wherever it is where you're watching from. Thank you for spending your time with us here and cheering on whatever team it is that you're rooting for in the SEC tournament. Please do us a favor and let's get some more basketball fans here in the chat to help us raise money for SickKids Hospital in Toronto and have a really good time partying it up during March Madness. Hit that like button down below as well. Please share this link out. Every single share is so massive. Please share it out as it helps YouTube recognize that more people are enjoying what they're watching. Now let's get back to the basketball. Good luck to your team.
Company. Our message got out. We're famous. All of us equally, or one of us is like the star? What did you see?
My Audi's wife was Miss Casey.
If you want to find out what happened to her, I'll help.
She's still alive. I want to see my wife.
You should have left.
Severance. New season now streaming. Only on Apple TV+.
SEC basketball is brought to you all week long by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there. Gatorade, the official sports drink of the SEC. Gatorade, it fuels the best because it is the best. By Regions, official bank of the SEC. And by T-Mobile 5G home internet.
Florida Gators haven't won the SEC tournament in just over 10 years. They're here in Nashville looking to do that very thing, which they did in the back-to-back years they won the national title. They were the SEC tournament champions both years when they went back-to-back under Billy Donovan. It's the Gators 10 and Tennessee 6. 15:31 to go, half number one. Tennessee, Tony, opened 2 for 2 from 3. They're 0 for 5 from 3 since.
And we kind of talked about them having heavy legs after making the first 2 shots. When you don't have a deep bench, you rely heavily on some guys that have played a lot of minutes in the last 2 days, and we going into day 3, your legs are going to be heavy. So I expect for Tennessee to not live at the three-point line, put pressure on Florida, try to get deep into the paint. But what Florida has is a really good long length, active, strong back line, and it's hard to finish over those guys. And they challenge high vertically.
They've also changed that back line out, and the bench is very good as well. Thomas Houck, who's been big in this tournament, 11 points yesterday, 6'9", sophomore from Pennsylvania. Also, Micah Handlogton is into the ballgame at 7'1". Remember, he had that gruesome injury last year, about a year exactly away from that injury, but at 7'1", he's a great reserve behind Chinyalu and Condon.
And these guys are elite. When I say elite rim protectors, that's what they do best.
Florida basketball, they try to parachute it in, and Milicic returned to sender, deflecting it back near Clayton, out of bounds again. Clayton this time lobs it for Houck right of the circle. He'll toss it with 2 hands for Clayton on a jab step. He bluffs a 3. He sends it to Handlogton. On the reversal, here is Aberdeen pushing the pace with the dribble. Now off to Houck. Handoff for Clayton. Little juggle. He recorrals. 4 to shoot. He fires left wing. It's around and out. And the rebound knocked around for Ziegler, who turns tail into the front court. Got caught mid-pass. He still got it away for Dubar. It's a 3 for Lanier. He knocks it down the right wing to make it 10-9.
Took a page out of Tennessee book, scored early in transition. That's going to help Tennessee offense.
Jazz Lanier for 3, the newcomer of the year in the SEC. 10-9 Florida with the lead. Hook a pass down low. Kick out from Handlogton into the right corner. It goes. Aberdeen trudging toward the paint. Kick it back out. Houck a spin. He got it away for Clayton, falling down. Clayton shot left side is up and good. So Clayton buries it, late shot clock, and we have a whistle to clean up quite a bit of condensation. It's 13-9 Florida.
What I love about Clayton, he is a tough shot maker and a tough shot taker. You want the ball in his hand when the shot clock is winding down. He's one of the best in college basketball at creating a shot, not only for himself, but for a teammate.
All-SEC first-team player. He had 4 threes in the first half in the semifinals just yesterday. Tennessee basketball. Ziegler wheels toward the lane. He kicks it right side. 3 in the air. That's Dubar. It's no good. Rebound Florida galloping in a hurry. Martin down the lane. Tried to smash it down. He missed off the back iron. Florida regathers. Houck tees up a 3 left side. Way short. Rebound Handlogton got a hand on it, and we get a whistle downstairs against Tennessee. It's on Lanier. That's his first. So Jemai Meshack is going to check back in. Lanier will come out for the moment. 3 fouls on Tennessee, just 1 against Florida. Remember, Tennessee lived at the free throw line against Auburn in the semis. They were 25 for 27. Outside left, Clayton hucks up another 3. It's challenged. It trickles off the rim, and Ziegler read the rebound well on the weak side for Tennessee. He hustles into the front court, kicking it around the arc, and a handoff to Gainey, who bluffs a three. He's crowded out by Martin. Now turns the corner on him, fires above the foul line and scores for two. Jordan Gainey for two to make it 13-11 Florida.
Another one of those players coming off Tennessee bench that needs to score. He had 15 points in yesterday's game, went 8 for 8 from the foul line, aggressive outside score.
With dad on the bench, his father Justin, longtime NC State player. Longtime assistant as well for Rick Barnes. Here's a drive. Aberdeen crashing into the lane. He is fouled on the way through. Aberdeen is so electric with his drives. He creates contact and can displace you, certainly.
When we talk about the four guards of Florida, those guys are all athletic, finishing at the rim. They like to throw lobs at one another. They're physical on the perimeter, just as Tennessee plays tough, tenacious defense. They have guards that are physically strong as well.
It's going to be not for the faint of heart today. Couple dribbles from Aberdeen. His shot is good from the foul line. He's a 70.5% foul shooter. Aberdeen is the junior in his third season at Florida. In 2021, he won for Dr. Phillips High School the first state title in program history, scoring 27 in the title game as the free throw is through, trying to win the Gators a tournament title here today. 15-11, Florida with the lead. Tennessee into the front court. And a parallel pass from Ziegler to Meshack. Toss it into the corner. That's an open look for three. And that is down for Gainey.
Bad defensive possession. You cannot go over on shooters. Fade to the corner. Nice shot by Gainey.
Just 30% from three, but he's been a better shooter over his career as Aberdeen skates with the dribble, nearly lost it. Off to Clayton High on the left side. Swing it for Handlogden. Away to the high right side. Here is Richard in a scramble. For Handlogden, skip left side. Klaujar for three. That's around and out. He thought he had it. He was bunny hopping into the backcourt. Rebound Tennessee, trailing 15-14. 12:45 to go. First half. Meshack surveying the scene, sidestepping a mirror image of Richard. Off to Gainey at the left elbow. He steps to the arc and finds Ziegler. Down to 10 to shoot for Tennessee. Ziegler ducks down the lane, kicks it right side, and the pass is punched out of bounds off of Tennessee. It goes to Florida. Meshack was in the area, and he couldn't get his mitts on it.
Then you have Aberdeen in the backcourt. He has to be careful handling the ball against Zakai Ziegler. Has the best hands, not only in this conference, but in the country as far as like staying low and in the stands, making guys worry about him stealing the ball from him.
He was always there. Houck on the drive all the way down the boulevard. He got fouled. Houck dribbled from the foul line on the right side to below the foul line on the left side and got himself to the free throw line out of it.
Houck is one of those skilled guys. He can knock down shots from the outside. He can get to the basket. He's a strong driver going right. And I'm surprised in the scout report they haven't forced him left in none of the games I've seen.
Houck's free throw is good. You know how it is sometimes. Coach tell you over and over again, please do not let him go right. Anything but right. And then you let him go.
He still goes right.
And they're like, I just don't know if I want to coach anymore. Free throw is good. It's 17-14, Florida with the lead. 12:20 to go, first half. Ziegler angles into the front court, veering toward Todd Golden and the Florida bench. He sets up an open look for three on the left side. That's no good for Gainey. Offensive rebound try for Meshack. And a whistle as the ball hit the end line. And it is going to be a foul. It goes on Handlogden, and that's his first. So Tennessee basketball, 12:10 to go. Half number one. Inbound pass shoved into the left corner. It's caught by Cade Phillips, who will drop it off for Ziegler. Hook a pass up top. Dubar, who wants to hand it right back to Ziegler, and he's fouled by Klaujar. He got jostled. That was the two shorter guys on the floor. Ziegler at 5'9" and Klaujar at 6'1", tangling.
We know how good Ziegler is coming off pick and rolls, but also DHOs to turn the corner. So you have to have elite speed, but also you have to have great backline help.
Dribble handoff for the uninitiated, but you're a close friend of dribble handoff.
Yes.
You get to call him DHO.
DHO.
Yeah, I love it. Look at pass left side of the circle. Dubar, handoff from Meshack, and he's fouled trying to circle into the lane. That's Hauk called for that personal, and the fouls are mounting for the Florida Gators. That's number 4, 5 on Tennessee, and you better believe free throws are going to be a part of this thing today.
Yeah, it is. Like you said, Tennessee went 25 for 27. They lived at the line yesterday against Alabama.
Tennessee trailing right now. Florida up 17.
Excuse me, Auburn.
Yeah,
yes.
They both lost as you accidentally rub it into the entire
well,
state.
you know what? The state is going home. So, excuse me on that one. That was Auburn.
Just for a couple days, then they'll be in the NCAA tournament. Florida 17, Tennessee 14, 11:51 to go. Half number 1 from Nashville. This is the SEC Radio Network.
Johnsonville asks, know why they're called sausage links? Because they have the power to link people together. Isn't that beautiful? I read that somewhere, or maybe I just made it up. But the point is, instead of stirring the pot on social media to drive people apart, let's stir the jambalaya or the Italian sausage rigatoni. And you just watch. Johnsonville sausage links link people, just like the sausage patties is a way people pat each other on the back. Okay, that I totally made up, but it's also very true. Keep it juicy out there.
Classic. Back to Bridgestone Arena in 1 minute. This is the SEC Radio Network.
At Academy Sports and Outdoors, we've spent 80-plus years in the business of fun. Expert fishing fun. Early morning hunting fun. Late night, need new cleats before tomorrow morning's game fun. Relaxing fun. Mouth-watering fun. So whatever fun adventure you're gearing up for, you'll find it for less at Academy Sports and Outdoors and at academy.com.
When it comes to action-packed highlights, there's nothing like the SEC. And when it comes to packing your game day celebration with deliciousness, there's nothing quite like Bush's Beans. As the official beans of the SEC, we offer big taste for every fan and every tailgate, even if it never leaves your backyard. Come to think of it, we're kind of like the power conference of flavor. So draw up that beautiful bean game plan and stock up on your favorites. Bush's, that beautiful bean company.
Gators and Volunteers here in the SEC Tournament Championship game. Florida by 3, 17-14 over Tennessee, 11:51 to go. First half. Let's set the stakes a little bit here. The Gators look like a 1 seed no matter what, based on the bracket matrix and all the people doing projections, based on their wins against North Carolina and at Auburn and at Alabama, and a second one against Alabama yesterday. They also beat Phil Brame's Demon Deacons, which is it counts for extra points here on our crew. But, it looks like Florida should be a 1 seed no matter what. But Tennessee could have an argument if they won today, having 2 wins against Florida, beating Alabama as well.
You're right. They very well could have an argument. But I think Florida has played their best basketball not only this month, but last month. And they have gone on the road and beat some really good teams. And you look at the depth that they have, the guard play in the backcourt. They have played excellent basketball. They can score against anyone. And then how Tennessee defends, you have to give them a lot of credit, how they defended most teams in this conference to be able to get those wins. So either one of those teams could be a number 1 seed. But I do like Florida because, to me, they are playing the best basketball of any team in this conference. That's the reason why they are in this championship game.
2 times under 80 since February 1st. One of them was Tennessee, and one of them was 3 weeks later. I mean, that's it. It is very difficult to keep them from scoring. I will say, though, the 8-9 seeds are a little bit like, fallen dynasties, right? You have UConn as a possible 8-9 seed. There are some dangerous teams in there, and also mid-majors like Utah State and New Mexico in that area that would be very hungry. So that second game for a 1 seed this year could be tough.
Oh, it will be. Trust me, it will be. It's parity in college basketball after the first round.
Tennessee has the basketball out of the timeout as they have taken away a point. One of the Clayton threes, he had his foot on the line. So it's 16-14. The Gators with the lead. They went and reviewed it. Now Meshack just stalls out. He went into idle after killing the dribble, and he finds Gainey top of the key. 1 foot fake moving to the right. He fires for 2 with 2 on the shot clock, and he knocked it down. Gainey was all alone on an island, and he figured, well, let's make something of it. We're tied.
But one of those guys that can come off the bench that can ignite the scoring for Tennessee. They know they have a six-man that's a leader. He knows how to put the ball on the floor. He can make plays, and he can make tough shots along with some other guards on the Florida team.
Second year at Tennessee after transferring at USC Upstate. He was one of the leaders in steals at the mid-major level. As the inbound goes to Condon, that's a tough running catch, and he is fouled. He was held. Condon was. It's on Milicic. That's his second. And by the way, Condon has like a Jamar Chase catch radius. He's caught like 5 or 6 entry passes in this tournament that he had no business getting his hands on.
He's showing you his athleticism and his basketball IQ.
He makes the catch on this one from Clayton. The Tennessee fans are not thrilled right now with the call as they got a second look at it. As Clayton sends it on its way to the left side, caught by Richard around through Condon. Now to Klaujar between the circles. He spikes a bounce pass for Richard, who tucks it into the post. Here's a spinning Condon against Dubar. He goes up and scores. Condon warding off Dubar for 2 for Florida.
What Florida has and Tennessee doesn't, they have low post threat and guys that can score on the low block and guys that they try to throw the ball to on the inside.
As they did right there. Boy, a lot of contact on the far side with Richard as well. Gainey, a pull-up from in the lane. That's no good. Rebound comes down mid-lane, and a big wrestling match for it. Okpara and Condon, they went high. They each had a hand on the ball, and this tie-up will go the Gators' direction.
Once again, the pace of the game now plays in the favor of Tennessee.
Yeah. Well, and just the toughness factor going on right now. I mean, typically for moments like that, they have stunt doubles on Hollywood sets. Florida basketball left end. Here is Richard high on the left side, and he's decked. Lanier called for his second personal foul. That was right in front of us, and shockwaves through the system of Richard as Tennessee called for foul number 7. 10:34 to go in the first half.
This is where you put pressure on Tennessee by getting in the paint and not just relying on long three-point shots. Win the penalty now. Let's see if Florida takes advantage of this.
Richard, an 81% foul shooter, sinks the first, and the Gators have taken a 19-16 lead. Tennessee knows the feeling. This is one of those what's good for the goose is good for the gander situations because they typically wear you out at the foul line.
Yeah, they do. If you think about just how well Florida shot yesterday, they went 12 for 14 from the foul line, and most of those shots came from their backcourt.
They did, and that's the right group of guys for them. They're not a great free throw shooting team, but the guards are, as they're 6 for 6 so far. A big bump. Gainey into Martin, no whistle, and the Tennessee fans are again up in arms. Handoff Gainey high on the left side. He jabs to the right, driving on Condon. Kick a pass out from Meshack, who swoops toward the lane at the foul line. Bounce the pass low on the left on a backdoor cut, and a foul called as they got it in low left for Dubar, and he will go to the free throw line.
And you see how Florida's playing defense on Meshack. They're stopping short, inviting him to take the three-point shot. Once he drives, they know they have backline protection. They're not worried about him finishing over 6'10", 6'11".
Foul is on Chinyelu. That's his first and the 5th against the Gators. Foul shot is up for Dubar. That is no good. He is one of those guys that, you hear about the transfer portal, and some people talk about it negatively, but there was a coaching change at Iowa State. He was there with Steve Prohm. TJ Otzelberger takes over. He transfers, goes to Hofstra, refines his game as he knocks down the free throw, and shows up here at Tennessee, and he's been an important part of just 8 for Rick Barnes.
And you're right, Jason. The way he fits in with this physical team, he's one of those nice specimens that knows his role.
Martin to 3 left corner. No, it's a long rebound pawed out of bounds off of Chinyelu. And actually, Dubar was lucky he didn't get a hand on it. He tried to track it down near the end line, and it does go off of Chinyelu. I mean, Dubar has stone in his name. Perfect for Rick Barnes and the toughness factor that he tries to provide his team. Outside left, here is Dubar playing it to his right for Lanier. Back in with 2 fouls. He'll deliver it right side. 3 in the air. That's no good for Ziegler. And the rebound hauled in. Martin in Florida tiptoeing into the front court with Clayton. Ziegler screened nicely by Condon. Hook a pass back to him. Pick and pop 3 left wing. Way too strong. Clang off the backboard. And it's out of bounds to Florida. 9:24 in the first with the Gators up 20-17. And you hear how the Smoky Mountains felt about that.
They're not happy at all. But what I do give credit to the Florida backcourt. We talk about how they shoot threes, putting the ball on the floor, great rebounding guards.
That's why they're so good on the offensive glass as well. Lob it in mid-post. Chinyelu trying to back down. Ziegler comes from the front side, takes it away, and a foul on Chinyelu is his second personal. Man, oh man. Zakai Ziegler is the guy you want if you're thinking about a sleek bank heist. Ocean's 5.
Think about Chinyelu. You cannot play around with the ball, especially when you turn your back and you have Ziegler on the other side, one of the quickest guys in college basketball and toughest guys.
I mean, he just scoots around you. You don't even feel the presence. And Chinyelu gets called for his second personal foul. So you got a guy who was an instant double-double yesterday against Alabama. He had to sit for a while now.
Well, the good thing about Florida is they have backup bigs. So he will be missed, but they have good replacements.
That's right. Tennessee basketball. Phillips with the arms outstretched finds Gainey, who probes to the right elbow, gets caught mid-lane, drop it off Ziegler high on the left side. He cyclones into the lane, bounces it right side for Meshack. 8 to shoot. Meshack against Handlogden. Jump a feed Ziegler, diving mid-lane. Pocket pass low on the right. Meshack jostled on the way up. No whistle. He missed the shot. Rebound Martin. Zipping ahead right side. Richard down into the post for Condon. Catching on Phillips. He goes right side, right hand, and he scores against Cade Phillips. That's 2. It's 22-17 Florida for Condon.
Just took his time, played through contact, and there was no double team. And like we talked about yesterday, Florida bigs will have single coverage most of the game.
Right of the circle, Gainey catapults a 3. That's off the bracket. Rebound Florida. One and done Tennessee again. No offensive glass to speak of there. Richard a lob. Condon a catch. Shot fake. His shot is repelled back at him. Twice by Okpara. Do not pass. Wow. Sparks flying off the basketball. Low on the left. He'll get a shot to score. He misses. And the rebound for the Gators and Condon. My goodness, those were 2 meteors. Right back into Condon. He's got Phillips this time. Wide left of the lane. Backing him down. Shooing him away. Righty shot. No dice. Rebound deflected. Handlogden kick out. Left side step aside 3. Richard is in the air and down. Oh, Florida's feeling it. Couple of block shots. Couple of misses near the rim. Who cares? Gators by 8.
Yeah, one of the best teams in the country getting offensive rebounds. And once they get them, they have elite three-point shooters on the outside.
Man, oh man, Florida is relentless right now. Here is Gainey, nearly had it taken away by an on-rushing Clayton. Off to Ziegler at the top of the circle. Ziegler, left-hand pass for Gainey, and a foul called. He and Martin are shoving. Now they're toe-to-toe like the front of a DVD cover of an action movie, and they're going to have to get separated. Remember DVDs? Those were fun.
Yes. Or Blu-ray disc, either one of them.
Yeah. 7:09 to go. First half. This is a grinder. It might be a VHS, this game.
It's a physical game. I'm looking, like I said, neither one of those guards or backcourt, they're not going to back down.
Oh, no. Not at all. 7:09 to go. Half number 1 in Nashville. Florida 25. Tennessee 17. This is the SEC Radio Network.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm the old basketball hoop in your driveway, and I'm rustier than your game. I mean, seriously, I should have been replaced back in 90.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. I'm talking to you. The one that's watching the SEC tournament with us and hanging out here on Toronto Sports Insider as we raise money for SickKids Hospital. There I am. All right. Finally. Anyways, you get the point. Thanks for hanging out with us and listening to the game. And now that I've got your attention, please hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you don't miss it for every single game of the SEC tournament live, as well as every game of March Madness live. Thanks for hitting that button, that subscribe button, the subscribe button with the bell. Yeah, you got it. Thank you so much, and welcome to our awesome community. We'll see you back in the chat.
Freezer aisle. This next one goes out to all the cheese lovers out there.
On Southwest, everyone can change or cancel their flight without a fee. That means this solo travel queen can stay an extra day on vacay. No fee, baby. And these two lovebirds get one more day of freedom.
Our kids won't miss us. They're with me, Ma.
While this poor guy can bail on the bachelor party a night early.
I'm tired, man.
No change or cancel fees. For real. That's a big flex. Only at Southwest. Fare difference may apply. Failure to cancel a reservation at least 10 minutes prior to scheduled departure may result in forfeited flight credits.
25-17, Florida the lead over Tennessee, 7:09 to go. Half number one, a 9-1 run for the Gators, who, as we mentioned, were 10 for 47 against Tennessee from three so far this year. They're 3 for 10 to this point in this game. But the 6 offensive rebounds are the big news because you can get, you took a bunch of them at Kentucky. You can get really good looks from 3 on second chances.
And I think that's what makes Florida a different team is they have multiple effort bigs that go to the glass. Chinyalu, Condon, and Hogg are guys that are strong when I think about just where they're at, and they can also score the ball down low. I think they are underrated as offensive players because they have such good guards on the perimeter that when I say single coverage, you have to worry so much about the backcourt of Florida, and that's what opens up the inside for the interior players.
If you are Tennessee, how do you attack Florida with your complement? You have Lanier with 2 fouls. You have Milicic with 2 fouls. Where are your answers in the next 7 minutes before Rick Barnes feels great about having them both on the floor after halftime?
And you talked about it. Just so much pressure is on Zakai Ziegler to make shots from the outside, to get inside and make plays for the big, to create for the guards on the outside. They need to get more going to the basket, but the only problem is the back line and interior defense of Florida. It's not as easy as stated.
Yeah, this Gators team is as deep as anybody, I feel like, in terms of rim protectors in the country.
It kind of reminds you of how well UConn played last year. You know, similarity with guards in the backcourt, bigs at the rim. They play great defense on the perimeter, so they understand who they are as a team. Great identity.
That is a great comparison because they had 2 guys they could substitute in and out, Klingon and Samson Johnson. Florida seems to breed them as the free throw is good for Gainey. He has a quick 8 in this game at the 18 for Tennessee, trailing 25-18.
And when you see when teams and coaches start winning championship, teams start building their team according to the team that won it.
Free throw good. That is so true, isn't it? In most sports.
All sports. You know, you think about the adjustments, and you see a team like the Patriots that won Super Bowls. You know, you have to figure out defense and offense and what you need to do. And the same thing in the NBA.
Here we go with Florida leading by 6. Hauk circled in front, didn't get it, instead back cut for Clayton down the lane line. He puts it up teetering, and he scores low on the left side. Clayton for 2. It's an 8-point lead again. 6:45 to go first half. There you see the bigs, great passers too.
Yes, that's what happens when you have a team that's so aggressive. You can get them with backdoor cuts.
Mashack stalking the perimeter for Tennessee. Phillips showed a screen, got it for Ziegler, tries to rev the engine and falls into a heap into Aberdeen. They pick themselves up. 5 to shoot. Phillips drops it off for Gainey, top of the key. He wants to drive, 2 to shoot. Fall away jumper around and out, and a foul called against Aberdeen, who has his hands on his head, and now he's just resigned to defeat. He got him on the elbow, evidently, says Joe Lindsay, one of our 3 officials, and 2 foul shots coming.
And that was going to be a tough shot for Gainey. I wish Aberdeen had just went vertical, challenge him, and let whatever happen happen. He did not foul a shooter.
The Gator fans are here, and we know that because they are not happy behind us as the free throw is good for Gainey.
They haven't been happy the whole game.
No, that's right.
They're trailing right now.
Well, nobody's happy with the replays. I mean, Florida didn't like that one. Tennessee didn't like the other ones. It happens.
It happens. But that was a foul.
Agreed. Free throw rattles out. It just would not sit down for him like a carnival game. And the rebound for Florida coming right to left. 6:15 to go first half. Clayton leaning over low on the dribble. He finds Hauk left of the circle, back to the basket. Through Handlogden on a dribble handoff. He goes to Richard. Back to Handlogden, skipping around the arc on the reversal. Aberdeen, ball fake, drive, reverse layup with the right is good. He danced in the air for two, 29-20.
What an acrobatic move. Just showing you his athleticism.
And a timeout called by Tennessee. They've gone without a field goal in 5+ minutes now. They have 4 points from the foul line in that time, but it is all Florida from the field right now at 29-20. And you look, Tennessee gives up more than a third of their points defensively from threes this year. At 87th in the country, 34% of the opponent's points come from three. And that makes Florida a little bit of a difficult matchup for Tennessee, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, you're right, Jason. They are a difficult guard because having 4 perimeter players that can shoot on the outside, all 4 athletic, and all 4 can drive and get to the paint, and they make foul shots. So Tennessee only has, 2 or 3 guys on their team that can make outside shots consistently. And when you have the Florida players are in their space, making it tough, they know Tennessee, when they start shooting threes, that's not Tennessee's strength.
However, Hickory, North Carolina's finest, Lenore Ryan's finest, Rick Barnes over on the sideline typically has an answer. And we'll see what Tennessee's response is here, although foul trouble has handcuffed him a little bit with Lanier and Milicic.
Yeah, Tennessee has to stay out of foul trouble. Not a deep team, rely heavily on their starters.
Lanier has checked in. He's standing at the right wing, so he's going to go with Lanier. They need the scoring off the bench right now. He's one of the starters, but he's been sitting for the balance of this half. Left corner, drive for Gainey. He flips it back out right of the circle. Here is Ziegler. He's double teamed, then handlogged and leaves him to go back into the paint. Lanier fall away, right pocket, no good. Rebound tapped by Hauk, and we have a foul called on the far side against Hauk of Florida. That's his second personal, and a 1-and-1 coming for Tennessee and Cade Phillips.
Once again, when Tennessee goes to the foul line, they get a chance to go down and set up their defense to make it tough for Florida. Florida want to get out and run in transition, and these foul shots slow their momentum down and tempo.
Free throw, too strong. Rebound batted up in the air over the backboard to Florida. That backboard has been under attack the last couple days by Tennessee. Zakai Ziegler from a seated position yesterday tried a shot that went over the backboard off the shot clock, and then this one tapped over the backboard. Here comes Florida, right to left. It is Clayton. His very secure, steady hand, walking the dribble. Ziegler, a twin with him at midcourt. Now Handlogden, top of the circle, just in front of the arc. On a handoff for Aberdeen, he starts his move, finds Condon, who feigns a three and drops it off for Clayton outside left. He gets into the paint, kicks it out in the right corner. It's caught there by Richard. Power dribble, step back tray, right side is down. Richard, nifty footwork, and he buries a three. It's the largest lead for the Gators at 12.
Just a tough shot off the bounce. Good defense, better offense.
Man, oh man. Right in front of the Tennessee bench. Vols have it. Lanier, two-point jumper, mid-range right is good. Chaz Lanier scoots in off the bench and knocks down a jumper. 32-22, Florida, 4:45 in the first of the SEC title game. Back to the goal. Here is Clayton. He'll scoop a pass for Condon, who says, take it right back. He whipped it right to him. Clayton rips it for three, right side. That's wide left. Condon had his hands on the rebound. He lost it. He's down on the ground. Here's Tennessee. Hit ahead for Lanier, trotting into the front court. Down the lane. Kick out Ziegler. He got set. Now he fires a pass into the left corner. He gets an open look for three. That's no good for Gainey. And the rebound down for the Gators up the right flank. Richard Waving now with the left hand. He switches back to the left with the dribble. He floats a pass to a cutting Condon low on the right side. He ducks out of traffic, finding Clayton stepping by a teetering Phillips. Kick it out right side. A drive from Richard. Heaving it up with the right hand. No, sir, off the backboard. And it's out of bounds over the end line to Tennessee. Condon again was signaling with a finger in the air to review it. He's still from yesterday, nobody's told him that you can't review it at the 4-minute mark.
No, we do not need to review that call. That was a tough shot going to the basket. But, you know, unless you know how tough the game is, when you drive, the official are not going to bail you out.
Not in this game. Not today in the SEC championship game. Florida has the lead, 32-22, 3:59 to go, half number 1 over Tennessee. This is the SEC Radio Network.
At Academy Sports and Outdoors, we've spent 80-plus years in the business of fun. Expert fishing fun. Early morning hunting fun. Late night, need new cleats before tomorrow morning's game fun. Relaxing fun. Mouth-watering fun. So whatever fun adventure you're gearing up for, you'll find it for less at Academy Sports and Outdoors and at academy.com.
How about this? Back to Music City after this timeout. This is the SEC Radio Network.
Sonic Radio. It's time for my favorite segment, Ask the CIO. Hey, caller, you're on.
Hi, a big fan. I used to think I could never love another burger more than my favorite. Then I tried the Sonic Smasher. With its tangy smasher sauce, melty cheese, and hand-smashed Angus patties seared to crispy perfection. How do I tell my favorite burger it's been replaced?
Easy. You don't. It's a burger. It has no feelings.
The Sonic Smasher. Try it as a double or a triple. Live free, eat Sonic. See menu for details.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC now recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
22 your score. Florida with the lead, 3:59 to go first half. And just as an aside, you know it's a big title game because the reaction you just heard from the crowd as we were coming back from break, they announced that Red Panda's here flipping bowls onto her head on the unicycle at halftime.
Yes, she does a phenomenal job. I don't know how she does it. Just riding a unicycle, and I can't imagine just trying to kick those bowls up and land on your head. She has a skill set.
She does.
She's a skill set.
Do you ever watch somebody do 4 things at once and you say, I can't do any one of those individually?
Like I said, one of them would be difficult.
Yeah, right?
She does quite a few things. Yeah, she's special.
You know, it's honestly, and this is going to be a little bit of a heavy-handed segue, but it's a little bit like guarding the Florida Gators.
Oh, wow.
What Red Panda does. It's 4 things at once. You have to have tentacles to deal with them, and they've opened at 11 for 26. They're +4 on the glass. They've only turned it over one time. When they're that efficient, Tony, it's not a lot you can do.
No, they're a tough team to beat. Like you said, just in the paint. They're +10 in the paint. They can score inside. They have guards, as we talked about. They can score from the outside. They pressure you on defense. They're athletic. They're athletic guards. They're not like small, below the rim guards. Those guards can finish above the rim. And that's what separates Florida from, in my eyes, from a lot of teams in the country. And I do expect for this team to get to the Final Four.
They should be a 1 seed regardless of what happens today, a lot of people think. But if they win today, guaranteed they're a 1 seed. And they're probably going to Raleigh, I would imagine. But we'll see what the committee does with all 13 to 14 SEC teams that end up in the tournament. Daney high on the left, delivers it for Ziegler for Tennessee in the bright orange jerseys. He whips it to the right side, caught by Lanier. Jersey untucked. He tries the right side short corner. His jumper is around and off, and the rebound knocked down to himself by Chinyalu. And he'll hand it off for Clayton, who steers the ship into the front court. He waves, pointing with the right hand, playing traffic cop on the SEC shadow logo at midcourt. Off to Condon. Now Chinyalu close quarters to the high post. Couple of dribbles. Chinyalu, that's not exactly where he's most effective. He'll drop it for Clayton. Hits a running Chinyalu who scores. That's where he's effective. He rocketed down the lane on the cut, and Florida by 12.
Chinyalu, great hands, strong body, and he knows how to finish at the rim better than most guys in the country because he is an athletic big.
Uses the body so well. Phillips caught in trouble, got it right back on a deflection. That's the world's longest handoff that Tennessee just put together. Here's a drive and reverse kick out right side. Ziegler for three. He got it, and he needed it. The second three of the half for Ziegler. Tennessee within 9.
Great job of relocating, getting his feet set, and staying with his shot, finishing with the follow-through.
Tennessee trying to kick up some dust with the fans. Clayton penetrating, delivers it high on the left for Condon. Now Martin bowling toward the foul line, turns his back, scoops it for Chinyalu, looking for Clayton. He couldn't get it there. He'll reverse it through Condon. 6 to shoot. Florida gummed up by this Tennessee defense. Airlock defense. Aberdeen midair. Got a touch pass right back. Missed it on an air ball, and it's out of bounds. Tennessee will have it. He was playing a very rapid-fire game of catch with Condon, who wanted Aberdeen to take the shot, and he'd prefer Condon did. Thank you.
An excellent half-court defense by Tennessee. Chasing guys off the shot, guarding boxing elbows, and challenging late without fouling.
Well, that foul line area was gridlocked there, and Tennessee handled it very well. So 2:03 to go, first half. SickKids Ziegler stalking into the front court. Had it taken away. Pickpocket Martin skating down the lane, and he scores. Oh, feeding Ziegler his own medicine. Elijah Martin for 2.
I don't think I've seen that in the 4 years that Ziegler been in college. Someone just stole the ball out front on him.
We'll see what his reaction is. He sings a pass left to the circle. That 3 try for Gainey hits the right side of the backboard. Rebound Florida. Clayton penetrating, piercing the lane, kick right side. Martin's triple, no. Condon got held. Tennessee's got the rebound. Left to right, under 90 seconds to go first half. Ziegler moving toward the lane. Bounce it for Okpara, who pivots into a dribble with his orange shoes. Tries to shovel it down low. Got it to Phillips, whose reverse is good. Cade Phillips for 2. 36-27.
Nice bounce pass. Phillips did a great job of cutting, not just staying on the perimeter stuck.
Oh, Aberdeen took a shot at Ziegler, trying to ward him off and bat him away. Here is Martin, foul line. Kills the dribble. Hands it off for Chinyalu. He rips through with the ball. Giving it to Aberdeen. Foul line pop off the bracket and out. Rebound yanked down by Tennessee. And here comes Gainey and the Volunteers into the front court right. Gainey ran into Clayton, who nearly fleeced him. Gainey got it back. Tucking the ball on his right hip. 39 seconds to go in the half. Drop it off Ziegler. He snaps off a 3 left wing. It is good. SickKids Ziegler starting to cook. Tennessee's within 6. 36-30. 26 seconds to go. Rocky Top is standing in Music City.
Once again, relocation by Ziegler, not just standing still on the perimeter, moving with the ball.
And I think they might have made him mad with the steal and score a moment ago. Timeout, Florida. SickKids Ziegler, when he was young, his mom, as the story goes, didn't know if he'd be able to do much of anything. There would be, based on a test that he had when he was very young, there was a chance that he had the disability spina bifida. But it turned out that that test, which signaled something, was signaling something else.
Right.
And so, yes, he is standing here at 5'9", and he's a marvel in that way. You've talked about Muggsy Bogues with him, but he is a medical marvel as well. And you see what he's gotten out of a career in a sport that typically says, you're too small, you're too small, you can't do this, you can't do that. He's an amazing presence.
He is electric. When you look at just how well he plays on defense, his ability to knock down shots on the outside, his toughness, that's something you can't teach. You can't teach toughness, and he's had it ever since he's been at the University of Tennessee.
Yeah, he is a special talent. He's the top assist man in Tennessee Volunteer history. He's top 10 in the SEC. He's going to leave top 10 in steals as well. And he, in so many ways, is the carburetor for this team.
Heart and soul of this team. That's what he is.
15 seconds to go, first half. Clayton clutching. Ziegler, arms outstretched against him. Tennessee showing a little bit of zone. They'll blitz Clayton here. He hops into a dribble, hands it off Richard. Hook a pass left side, Aberdeen. Long tray, it's good! Florida has an answer! 39-30 Gators. Aberdeen shocks the Vols at halftime.
Gotta love the chess match. Trying to go zone, making them shoot the ball, staying attached to the other shooters. Great three-point shot by Aberdeen.
His 32nd three of the year. He had 20 in the SEC semis last year against A&M. Kind of a coming out party for him after 19 total points as a freshman. And what a bounce back for Florida. They needed it.
Oh, yeah. You look at just how well they played, and Tennessee playing great defense. We knew that was going to be an explosive ending, and we saw it from Aberdeen.
39-30 your score at halftime. 15 minutes on the halftime clock. That's loads of time for Stephen Hartzell to tell you about highlights from our first half. Scores from around the country on this Selection Sunday. We'll step aside and come back to Nashville in mere moments. This is the SEC Radio Network.
Mercedes-Benz asks you this. What do elite athletes and luxury vehicles have in common? A winning drive for starters. Both are versatile, intelligent, and constantly innovating. Both navigate speed bumps and leave fans with goosebumps. And of course, only the best become stars. Mercedes-Benz, available in electric, gas, or plug-in hybrid. Discover uncompromising luxury at your local authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer. Learn more at MBUSA.com. Mercedes-Benz, official luxury vehicle of the SEC.
In SEC country, the key to our confidence comes from having a goal.
Cover three, ready?
And knowing just how we're going to get there.
8 seconds, it's plenty of time.
So in these pivotal moments, we come together for inspiration and a plan. Financial confidence in SEC country works that way too. When you and your bank.
Cheers, basketball fans. Who are you rooting for today in this matchup? Well, get loud in the chat, cheer them on, and hang out with a bunch of people from all over the world. And while we're doing that, the main reason is this SickKids Hospital and Toronto Sports Insider Bracket Mania campaign that is now live. It is underway. Please check the link that is in the description as well as pinned in the chat. And donate if you are able. If not, please share it out. We are going to raise, the goal is at least $100,000 for SickKids Hospital from now until a champion is crowned at the Final Four. We'll see you back in the chat. Go, whichever team it is you're going for. Go Gators.
My Audi's wife was Miss Casey.
If you wouldn't find out what happened to her, I'll help.
She's still alive. I want to see my wife.
He should have left.
Severance. New season now streaming. Only on Apple TV+.
With 20 minutes in the books, it's halftime on the SEC Radio Network. Brought to you by Farm Rich, the official frozen snack of the SEC. Grab a snack. Stats, analysis, and scores are all coming up. Now back to Nashville.
It's halftime in Nashville. 2-seed Florida leads the 4-seed Tennessee Vols 39-30 in our championship game. Stephen Hartzell with you courtside at Bridgestone Arena. Welcome into the Farm Rich halftime show. We will check scores from other conference tournament games. The SEC, one of 5 championship games on the docket today. We'll also listen back to highlights from the first 20 minutes. But first, stations, let's pause 10 seconds for station ID here on the SEC Radio Network. As promised, highlights from the first half. Torrid start for both teams. Here's how it sounded from the jump.
Now Lanier, who had 10 in the first half yesterday. It's a dribble handoff. Ziegler, who rifles a three right wing, and it's down. Zakai Ziegler bags a three, and it might be one of those days for him.
Off to a great start. When he knocked down shot from outside, it opens up their offense even more.
54th of the year for him. Now the Gators in white and blue, piping. High on the left side, Clayton triggers a triple. That's good. 3-all, and we might have a shooting match today.
Zakai Ziegler and Walter Clayton Jr., who both led their teams in scoring in the semifinal round on Saturday, picking up right where they left off. And just like that, the lid was lifted here in Nashville. Vols made their first 2 threes of the game and led a couple minutes in. That would be the only lead of the half for Tennessee. Florida did what Florida's been doing all week, making shots outside, inside, didn't matter for the Gators.
Clayton head up on the dribble. He'll flick it Aberdeen. Touch pass down low, and Chinyelu spikes it home. One-timer like Steven Stamkos here in the home of the Predators. It's 10-6.
Florida having 16 points in transition. If you don't get back and guard boxing elbows and three-point line, they will be able to score.
You knew we were going to work in a Nashville Predators reference. It was just a matter of time here in the home of the Preds. Ruben Chinyelu with the flush. Gators would lead in this game, but not by very much. Largest lead for the Gators was just 4 by the midway point of the first half. And believe it or not, it was the Vols' three-point shooting, not Florida's early on, that was a factor in this game.
And a parallel pass from Ziegler to Meshack. Toss it into the corner. That's an open look for 3. And that is down for Gainey.
Bad defensive possession. You cannot go over on shooters. Fade to the corner. Nice shot by Gainey.
Jordan Gainey with the 3. It brought the Vols within 1 at 15-14. Tennessee's defense has been working hard today. Everybody knows about Ziegler. He's the SEC Defensive Player of the Year. But the Vols' bigs came to play too.
Richard a lob. Condon a catch. Shot fake. His shot is repelled back at him. Twice by Okpara. Do not pass. Wow. Sparks flying off the basketball.
Felix Okpara with back-to-back blocks, doing all he could to keep the Gators scoring at bay. But Tennessee's offense would go cold, over 5.5 minutes without a field goal at one point. And against this Florida team, it was only a matter of time before the Gators would start to create some separation.
Condon, he's got Phillips this time, wide left to the lane, backing him down, shooing him away. Righty shot, no dice, rebound deflected, hand-logged and kick out. Left side, step aside 3. Richard is in the air and down. Oh, Florida's feeling it.
Walter Richard with the 3. It put Florida up 8, 25-17. The Gators would start to make their move. Tennessee threes that were falling early dried up for the Vols, and even those threes that weren't dropping early in the game for Florida started to go down.
Clayton outside left. He gets into the paint. Kicks it out in the right corner. It's caught there by Richard. Power dribble. Step back tray. Right side is down. Richard, nifty footwork, and he buries a 3. It's the largest lead for the Gators at 12.
Just a tough shot off the bounce. Good defense, better offense.
Walter Richard again, and the lead was up to a dozen at 32-20. Some of us were thinking we might be done here, but just before halftime, Zakai Ziegler would go on a solo 6-0 run. They got the Vols back within shouting distance before intermission.
Gainey got it back, tucking the ball on his right hip. 39 seconds to go in the half. Drop it off Ziegler. He snaps off a 3 left wing. It is good. Zakai Ziegler starting to cook. Tennessee's within 6, 36-30, 26 seconds to go. Rocky Top is standing in Music City.
Yeah, 36-30 after that Ziegler 3. He hit 2 in a row to cut the deficit to a half dozen. Bridgestone Arena, as you heard in the highlight, in front of this pro-Vols crowd, started to get awfully loud as Red Panda has just successfully flipped 6 bowls at one time onto her head with 1 foot while riding a unicycle. That's why the crowd is going absolutely bananas here. She is cooking. Florida is cooking. They got a 3 from Denzel Aberdeen right before halftime to push the lead back up to 9. And that's where we stand at intermission. Florida 39, Tennessee 30. When we come back, we'll check some scores from some other games across conference tournament week. You're listening to the SEC Radio Network.
When it comes to action-packed highlights, there's nothing like the SEC. And when it comes to packing your game day celebration with deliciousness, there's nothing quite like Bush's Beans. As the official beans of the SEC, we offer big taste for every fan and every tailgate, even if it never leaves your backyard. Come to think of it, we're kind of like the power conference of flavor. So draw up that beautiful bean game plan and stock up on your favorites. Bush's, that beautiful bean company.
T-Mobile 5G home internet keeps getting better. Get our fastest connection loaded with benefits. Get T-Mobile's best home internet starting at $55 a month with auto pay and any voice line. Plus, Price Lock. We won't raise your rate on internet. Check availability at T-Mobile.com/home internet.
Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. Guarantees regular monthly rate plan price of fixed wireless 5G internet data with qualifying service. After $15 bill credit with postpaid voice line plus $5 a month without auto pay with debit or bank account. Regulatory fees included for qualifying accounts. $35 connection charge applies. Speeds vary due to factors affecting cellular networks.
You're listening to the SEC Men's Basketball Tournament on the SEC Radio Network.
At Academy Sports and Outdoors, we've spent 80-plus years in the business of fun. Expert fishing fun. Early morning hunting fun. Late night, need new cleats before tomorrow morning's game fun. Relaxing fun. Mouth-watering fun. So whatever fun adventure you're gearing up for, you'll find it for less at Academy Sports and Outdoors and at academy.com.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm the old basketball hoop in your driveway, and I'm rustier than your game. I mean, seriously, I should have been replaced back in ¡99. So when you go up for a dunk, I slam down onto your car. And if you don't have the right auto insurance, you might have to jump through a few hoops to pay for this. So get Allstate, save money, and get protected from mayhem like me.
Savings vary based on coverage selected. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
You're listening to the SEC Men's Basketball Tournament on the SEC Radio Network. Time now for the Regions Scoreboard Update. Regions, official bank of the SEC.
Florida leads Tennessee at halftime of the SEC championship game 39-30. Gators on top of this one. Still got about 5 minutes or so until the start of the second half. A quick check of other scores, games in progress. Atlantic 10 championship final. VCU leads George Mason 33-28. Final minute of the first half in that one. Earlier today, Yale knocks off Cornell. So Yale will be making they'll be getting the auto bid from the Ivy League championship 90-84. Bulldogs on top of Big Red. Still to come later today, AAC championship game. Memphis taking on UAB in Fort Worth. SEC fans want Memphis to take care of their business here. The AAC is a one-bid league. Should the Blazers upset the Tigers, that would be some bid thievery at the AAC championship game. And the Big Ten tournament final still to come later. That's a 3:30 Eastern tip. Michigan taking on Wisconsin for the Big Ten championship in Indianapolis. You hear Rocky Top playing in the background. There are a lot of Tennessee fans here at Bridgestone Arena, as you might expect. Vols with some work to do, though. They trail Florida 39-30 at halftime. We'll bring back in Jason Benetti and Tony Delk with the call of the second half after this timeout on the SEC Radio Network.
Joe Montana here. In my football days, I knew the importance of a strong defense. Now I'm sharing how you can help defend your health against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease. Are you 50 or older like me? The CDC now recommends vaccination against pneumococcal disease. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at increased risk and over 6 times greater risk of hospitalization with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50. Schedule your appointment today at vaxassist.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
We know that sport has the power to change lives on and off the field. But today, the majority of kids in the U.S. are no longer playing sports. As the leader in fueling athletes, Gatorade is committed to helping reverse this trend and creating positive change across our communities. That's why Gatorade has launched Fuel Tomorrow, a new multi-year initiative to help everyone have equal opportunity to play sports and realize their potential. Learn more about Gatorade's commitment to break down barriers and help millions of kids get into the game by visiting Gatorade.com/community.
Live from Nashville, this is the SEC Men's Basketball Tournament on the SEC Radio Network.
Sonic Radio. It's time for my favorite segment, Ask the CIO. Hey, caller, you're on.
Hi, a big fan. I used to think I could never love another burger more than my favorite. Then I tried the Sonic Smasher. With its tangy smasher sauce, melty cheese, and hand-smashed Angus patties seared to crispy perfection. How do I tell my favorite burger it's been replaced?
Easy. You don't. It's a burger. It has no feelings.
The Sonic Smasher. Try it as a double or triple. Live free, eat Sonic. See menu for details.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm the valet at the game, and I'm as tight on cash as this lot is on space. So I'm going to park your way too big truck in this way too small spot. And if you don't have the right auto insurance, this might leave you crunched for cash. So get Allstate, save money, and get protected from mayhem like me. Who's next?
Savings vary based on coverage selected. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
All right, we're back at Bridgestone Arena getting ready for the second half. Florida leads Tennessee 39-30 as we bring back in Jason Benetti and Tony Delk. Guys, Tennessee trails by 9. That's about as far as this team can afford to be behind Florida, you would think, as the second half gets ready to go.
Yeah, I totally agree, Tony. Is that you're feeling like if it gets to 12-13, it's tough for Tennessee to come back?
Yes, it is, because they don't have the firepower. That means you have to rely heavily on Zakai Ziegler to knock down shots. I think Florida's doing a really good job of guarding Chad Lanier, making it tough for him to get shots on the outside. So it will be predicated on the defense of the Florida Gators, but also Tennessee not allowing Florida to get that lead into double digits.
And the transition points as well, we haven't seen a ton of yet for Florida, but they do put you in such a bind when they get into the front court that quickly because they're securing their position.
Well, I knew scouting report-wise Tennessee was going to get back on defense and not give them easy buckets in transition. That means you cannot go to the offensive glass to try to get offensive opportunity for your team. Against the Florida Gators, you have to get back all 5 guys and match up quickly.
That is a great point. Tennessee is top 20 in the country in offensive rebounding. They have 3 all game. They just can't in this game, right?
Can't
so
sacrifice.
It takes away a piece from them.
Yes, it does. But it allows you to get back and match up against one of the best teams in college basketball in transition. And when a team has scored 102 points, you better get back and match up in transition.
You better. And Tennessee has not shot it well against Florida from 3 all season. They're 10 for 51 from 3 in the first 2 meetings. Today, they're 6 for 16. They've shot it better, but Florida is just so overwhelming with all the weapons.
Yeah, you can't get caught just living at the three-point line, and Tennessee has done that in a couple of games that they have lost. I think their best game is when they can put the ball on the deck and get in the paint and create easy opportunities.
Maybe their worst loss, just net ranking wise, is at Vanderbilt in this very city on January 18th. They lost that 75-74, trying to come back and get a win here in Nashville. We are ready for half number 2. Here's a UCLA cut and a layup for Lanier. Down the right side of the court, he's got the opening 2 of the second half. Tennessee within 7.
Caught Florida sleeping out of the break, and just think about this as a quick score.
Florida basketball. Condon for Clayton, right of the circle. Feigned a 3, step inside. 3 is good. He went to his left. He knocked it down. 42-32, Florida the lead.
He might be one of the best off-balance three-point shooters in the country.
I don't know if he even has it off balance. Everything goes in for him. First team All-SEC player, Walter Clayton Jr. High lob. Akpara went to climb for it. He missed the dunk low on the left side. Here is Clayton snaking into the front court. Lob it up. That stuff is a foul. And 2 free throws coming for Condon. He was low on the right side, and he got wrapped on the arm.
You look at Condon and Chandler, 2 guys that have great hands. And then when you get deep paint touches like that, as a big, either you want to give up the layup by the guard, or you have to prevent the lob. And that play, we saw Clayton Jr. making the right decision.
Colin Mashak, his second. How about Clayton, though? He gets so sunken in the lane, and he's still at close range with a beautiful alley-oop as the free throw for Condon is good. That's kind of tough to do in traffic.
It is, but you have to give him a lot of credit. He has a lot of experience. He knows what players he has and how to get them the ball, and that's what separates him from most guards in the country.
I'm not saying he shouldn't. It's fun to watch. He keep doing it. Free throw good for Condon, 44-32. Florida with the lead. 6 for Condon to this point. Clayton has 10 for Florida. Tennessee into the front court, trailing by a dozen again. Here's Ziegler shoving a bounce pass left side where it's caught by Lanier at the baseline against Richard. In the man-to-man, Martin gets screened by Meshack, so they'll switch. It's Clayton on Ziegler now. He roves to the right side of the lane. He's walled off by Chinyelu, who just crowbarred the ball away from him as Ziegler hit the deck. Up ahead, Martin pounding the dribble, driving, sweeping in, fadeaway jump right of the lane, no dice, and a rebound hold goes against Tennessee. Condon with a low 5 that you could hear the smack in row number 2 for Chinyelu. It's on Okpara. That's his first.
And we'll keep talking about Chinyelu. He is a grown man down there. He's a physical specimen that you might need 2 players to box him out.
He's the world's tallest fire hydrant. Inbound pass. Hopping Milicic, jumping in the air, and Clayton parachutes it out to Richard, who holds it at the waist with 2 hands. Wraparound bounce pass for Condon, backing down on Lanier. It's a handoff for Martin, who sprays it between the rings. High-low pass from Chinyelu, shot by Condon. He is fouled. That's 3 on Milicic. Condon goes to the free throw line again. I gotta tell you, the partnership of Chinyelu and Condon, they act like guards, knowing where each other is.
Well, when you have really good interior passers and also guards, I love the guards that allow these guys to get deep paint touch and throw the ball to them. And when you're 2 feet from the basket, that's the best time to throw the ball to either one of those guys. And they finish around the rim.
Condon's free throw rattles around and pops out. Think about Condon. His first career start as a collegiate player was in the NCAA tournament last year. Florida got some valuable experience despite that loss to Colorado last season. And now they are supercharged. On the white arm sleeve, the free throw for Condon is down, and Florida takes a lead of 13. 45-32, 18-22 to go, second half. Tennessee basketball right to left. Meshack rams into the front court, right into Clayton, and Clayton gets called for the foul. I guess he was in the cylinder of Meshack, but Meshack created the contact.
Might have been a little too much contact for them, but on this possession right here, Tennessee needs to score.
Yeah, it's kind of danger time, isn't it?
It is.
And down to Meshack, outside right, 25 feet away against Clayton. 2-hand pass for Ziegler, trying to duck in with a pass. Phillips got jostled, and he's pushed out of the lane. Clayton is frustrated with the call, and 2 free throws coming for Cade Phillips. That's 2 on Clayton. He had 0 in the first 20 minutes and change, and now he's got 2 in the last 12 seconds.
But the good thing about Florida, we talked about them have two of each at every position, is they have someone else that can come in. But Clayton is different because he's a tough shot taker and a tough shot maker. And he's the leader on the team as far as getting other guys involved.
Yeah, he's the one guy they can afford to lose because they have other guys. As the free throw is no good, 1 for 2 for Phillips. But he is very much the head of the snake.
Yes, he is.
Clayton rolls a pass, caught by Condon, off to Clayton high on the right, trying to jockey by Ziegler. Instead, he'll toss it for Condon at the summit. He swoops toward the lane, backing in on Okpara. The dig comes, so he gives it up for Martin left wing. He steps toward the lane, pushes it back out. Clayton, 5 to shoot. Screen from Chinyelu, fires right side. That's an air ball from Clayton, and it's out of bounds. Clayton, little double pump, and he had to chuck it. And it's out of bounds with Tennessee down 12.
Once again, he was trying to create something off the bounce. Thought they waited too long in the shot clock to go one-on-one.
Which is rare for them.
It is.
Meshack delivers a pass caught by Lanier at the waist. He'll work around, got lassoed, and he still gets to the rim and fouled. 2 shots for Lanier as he rose from the inside right spot.
And as you can see right now, Tennessee is attacking him off the bounce, trying to get to the rim and getting deep into the interior players.
That is 3 on Chinyelu, Tony. And again, they do have other
They have bodies, yeah. I'm not so concerned with them because they have used their depth throughout the season, basically. Yeah. They go 8, 9, 10 man deep.
Free throw good for Lanier. And a whistle. Substitution coming. Yeah, Todd Golden realizing that's 3 on Ginulu. He's going to bring in Handlogged, and he's still tucking in his jersey as he gets into the ball game.
And to me, sometimes they don't miss a beat with some of their bigs when they come in the game. They do the same exact thing.
Free throw is good for Lanier. The transfer from North Florida, where he led the Atlantic Sun in three-point percentage last season. A tremendous shooter. Tennessee trying to kick up some dust. The fans getting a little bit loud here. Trailing by 10, 45-35 as Florida rockets into the front court with Clayton. He'll drop it off for Martin, piercing the lane. Righty floater is good for Elijah Martin. It's a 12-point lead for the Gators.
He has the physicality and the strength to play through a lot of contact on the perimeter.
And we have a whistle and a foul called against Tennessee. Richard ended up on the ground, and the Vols whistled for their 3rd foul of the half. It's on Lanier. That's his 3rd. This is the largest deficit at 12 that Tennessee has seen since their rematch against Vanderbilt on February 15th. Now, they did come back and win in that game. Can they do that against this scary Florida team offensively? A saunter into the front court, Elijah Martin with his grape-colored sneakers. He'll toss it left side, caught by Richard at the hash mark left in front of his bench. He juggles the ball. Lanier got a hand in it. He pried it free, and we got a foul on Richard. The ball had already left the space where it was taken away, but a whistle anyway, and it goes against Richard. That's his 1st.
We talked about this yesterday, just how aggressive Tennessee guards are with their hands. They're always on the move. They're active, and they're not by their waist.
And certainly, if they're going to be that active, foul trouble could mount. Each team with 4 personal fouls so far. Ziegler running side saddle with the dribble. Hands it off. Martin with hands on Gainey, who shucks him away at the foul line. Drilling a pass into the body of Ziegler high on the left side. He's marked by Clayton. Skip pass right side. Gainey curling toward the lane. Kick on left of the circle. Ziegler's 3 goes wanting. Okpara got a paw on the rebound, and he flicked it accidentally to Clayton. Florida, the hit ahead. Clayton for Condon, surveying from the middle of the lane, banging into Phillips. Now he starts like a bull, steps back, runs back into him, and gets fouled on the way up. All Phillips was missing was a red cape.
I think as we see right now, Condon, when he caught the ball down there, as a low post player, when you start crab dribbling and you start getting even more resistance, you know right away the guy doesn't have the strength to guard you, and that's what Condon saw in Phillips.
As a guy with a shellfish allergy, do you have something else for crab dribble? I don't know if I can be near you if you're going to say that here in the second half. Free throw for Condon on the way. Native of Perth, Australia, and he airballed it.
A little short.
You ever do that?
You know what? I think every great player has done it. Not by intention, though. Like I said, hey, it happens sometimes. Shoot a little short.
Yeah.
A little short.
Couple of dribbles. He shimmies into a stop. He puts it up and scores. 1 for 2. Condon makes it a 13-point lead for the Gators. 16:09 to play in this SEC championship game. Ziegler scanning. He finds Lanier. He'll pull up, catch and shoot. He's got it for 2 inside the arc on the left side. 48-37, Florida the lead. Condon delivers outside left for Clayton. Sweeping the ball, fires a 3 from a standing position. No good. Weak side rebound for Richard for Florida. He'll play it back out for Martin. Those 3 guards all get a touch. Clayton down the back door. His shot blocked away. Phillips was there. Condon the follow for 2 inside left. Florida's at 50, leading by 13.
Just the interior presence of Condon following the missed shot.
Right side 3, Lanier, front iron, no dice. Florida has a little gas in the tank into the front court. Off to the left side, 3 in the air very quickly off the pass from Clayton. Got it to Richard, who missed. And the rebound, Tennessee coming right to left. Vols are going to have to speed into this a little bit uncomfortably. Gainey kick out. Here is Ziegler picking his way above the foul line. Now he starts his move down the lane, tries a lob. What a tough catch by Okpara, who rescued it and put it up and in inside right for his first 2.
That's where Zakai Ziegler want to get deep in the paint, looking for the lob at the rim.
50-39, Florida with the lead by 11. 14:45 to go. And Logden zings a pass right side. Clayton hip to hip with Ziegler. Off to Condon. He'll circle left. Bounce pass. Reverse layup is no good for Richard, but he'll go to the free throw line. He got hit underneath the basket. And 2 free throws for Florida when we come back. 14:38 to go. Tennessee has not climbed back in this thing just yet. There's been some momentum, but they haven't pieced together a couple of stops in a row.
Well, give Florida a lot of credit. They know Tennessee have to score every possession down the court. That's a lot of pressure on Zakai Ziegler and Lanier, 2 of the best scorers on the perimeter.
Yeah, on the defensive end as well, along with the offensive end, as Florida leads by 11, 50-39, 14:38 to go in the SEC tournament title game. We'll be back in mere moments here on the SEC Radio Network.
Johnsonville asks, you know why they're called sausage links? Because they have the power to link people together. Isn't that beautiful? I read that somewhere, or maybe I just made it up. But the point is, instead of stirring the pot on social media to drive people apart, let's stir the jambalaya or the Italian sausage rigatoni. And you just watch. Johnsonville sausage links link people, just like the sausage patties is a way people pat each other on the back. Okay, that I totally made up, but it's also very true. Keep it juicy out there.
On Southwest, everyone can change or cancel their flight without a fee. That means this solo travel queen can stay an extra day on vacay. No fee, baby. And these 2 lovebirds get 1 more day of freedom.
Our kids won't miss us. They're with me, Ma.
Well, this poor guy can bail on the bachelor party a night early.
I'm tired, man.
No change or cancel fees. For real. That's a big flex. Only at Southwest. Fare difference may apply. Failure to cancel a reservation at least 10 minutes prior to scheduled departure may result in forfeited flight credits.
In SEC country, the key to our confidence comes from having a goal.
Cover 3, ready?
And knowing just how we're going to get there.
8 seconds, it's plenty of time.
So in these pivotal moments, we come together for inspiration and a plan. Financial confidence in SEC country works that way too, when you and your banker get together to create your personal Regions Green Print plan.
I think that'll really work. Thanks.
So let's huddle up, because in an SEC world, we're the SEC Bank. Regions, official bank of the SEC, member FDIC.
SEC basketball is brought to you all week long by Allstate. You're in good hands with Allstate. By Johnsonville, reminding everyone to keep it fun, keep it together, and keep it juicy. And by the Sonic Smasher. Live free, eat Sonic.
50-39, Florida the advantage over Tennessee. Winner gets the SEC Tournament Championship crown. 14:38 to play in this game. Tennessee has not hit a 3 so far in the second half. They've been adamant to try to drive and get into these Florida bigs, but they've given up 4 points to this point in the second half, in part because Florida is +9, Tony, on the glass.
Yes, one of those teams that when the ball goes up, they rebound not only in their area, outside their area. And we talked about it earlier. Florida probably have 3 of the best, not only perimeter shooting guards, but guards that rebound the ball. So they come back and rebound. They're not trying to leak out and get easy buckets or cherry pick going down the court. They come back and rebound. And what helps the team is guards can push the ball down the court a lot quicker than the bigs.
What does that feel like on the opponent guard, right? When they're so relentless about catch outlet on rebounds, what does that feel like for you as a defensive player?
Well, it puts a lot of pressure on you when that guy is coming with a head of steam. How do you defend them? He can shoot the 3. We know they can finish well at the basket. 3 of the most athletic guards in the country. When you look at Florida in the backcourt of Richard, Clayton Jr., and Martin, all 3 of those guys, they look for each other on lobs, going to the rim, but also on the perimeter. They can knock down shots, and they've done it well.
Richard to the foul line out of the timeout, and Florida White. His free throw is up and good off the 6th Tennessee foul. It's a shooting foul, so 2 shots for Richard here with a 12-point lead. He's back home, essentially. He spent 1 year at Belmont before transferring to Florida, Will Richard. Who, you love the bios that the teams put together. Yes. Some have very specific information that you never would have expected. Like Will Richard is really fun to watch, but we also know that his favorite movie is Ratatouille, and that makes us feel good.
I never would have guessed that.
Yeah, 52-39, a 13-point lead. He is something of a 5-star chef on the floor. Would you say that, though? Yeah. Tennessee basketball, left side, Gainey, baseline 3, front iron, no dice, rebound off the backboard. It ends up with Condon, who tried to scoop it to a teammate, had it taken away, and now ripped back by Martin. Florida left to right. Aberdeen's got it in his slender arms, trying to drive, getting into the lane, kick out right side baseline. Martin, three is well short. And the rebound for Tennessee in orange 6 minutes into the second half. Head up on the dribbles at Kai Ziegler, met by Klaujar. Ziegler switches back to his right and is fouled by Urban Klaujar. And that is number 5 on Florida.
And what you like about Kai Ziegler is his ability to keep the ball alive. He loves to probe, and if he doesn't have a probe, he'll bring it back out and set up the offense.
And it creates the foul there. That's number 5 on Florida, as mentioned. 13:55 to go, second half. Ziegler skating, looking for the ball, got it on a dribble handoff. He's deep in the corner with Klaujar mirroring him. Now Dubar for 3, left of the circle. That's way wide. That's an early shot for Tennessee, and maybe not the guy they wanted to shoot it.
Tennessee, when it comes to outside shooting, that's not the guy you want to shoot the three-point shot.
There's a Condon screen. Aberdeen picks his way, pierces the lane, kicks it out. Condon, left side 3, no good. Hard off the heel, and the rebound for Tennessee. Meshack, a sauter into the front court, waving with the orange arm sleeve on the left. He'll play it to his right for Dubar. Handoff Ziegler. He rockets it for Dubar, low on the right side. His shot is blocked, but a foul called on Condon, who might have gotten the ball, but he also came down with the arm, and that typically will get you a foul. It's his second.
That's where as a big, you just have to go vertical and make him make a play over you. Don't come down, because like I said, they have the length, the size, and you have a smaller guy. It's tough to finish with those guys.
Yeah, Condon's certainly the size advantage, 6'11", 230. As the free throw is on the way, and it is good. Yikes. It deadened off the heel.
It did.
And then sat on down through.
Get enough backspin for it to go in. But normally, that's a missed free throw.
Yeah, you heard the thunk. Dubar, the first one is good. The second one is beautiful. 52-41. They both count for 1.
Again, right now, Tennessee have to get a stop. Every possession down is an important one, but it's also taking time off the clock.
They're doing it right now with only one of the starting guards on the floor for Florida. That is Martin. And so they double team Aberdeen. They blitz him immediately, and they get a tie-up out of it. It'll stay with Florida. But credit Rick Barnes, seeing the personnel on the floor, right. He brings the heat.
Not having the leader, Walter Clayton Jr. on the court, you can pick up. But also as a guard, you know you can't be at that position. It's really 3 defenders, sideline, backcourt, and the guys in front of you.
Possession arrow stays with Florida. Here is Aberdeen waltzing into the front court. High on the right side. He'll two-handed for Houck between the circles. Drop it off outside right. Klaujar circling to the top of the key. A Tennessee player fell. Aberdeen drives right to that spot. Hits a back cut, and Martin dunks it. He does a chin-up on the rim while he's at it and gets away with it because there was somebody underneath him. Florida by 13.
Woo! When we say high-level athlete, he is definitely one of those guys.
Dubar mid-lane is hovering and scoring with the right hand. It's 54-43 Florida. Wow, Elijah Martin, my goodness.
Yes, and he did do a real chin-up on the basket.
Yeah, that was not a half chin-up. You win the presidential
that was a full
chin-up. That's right. Houck in the right corner. Klaujar tries to rescue it on the sideline and throws it out of bounds. Not deflected. Martin pointing at Tennessee saying, hey, they touched it and they're not going to win that. So Tennessee gets it back down 11 with 12:09 to go. Volunteer basketball. Kai Ziegler into the front court right, veering to the right. Now he switches back to the left. Klaujar's got his eyes on him. Ziegler breaks to the left, skitters mid-lane, fires and gets fouled. Urban Klaujar with the unenviable task of trying to figure out which direction Kai Ziegler's going. That's his third foul.
And that's tough when you have one of the quickest guys in college basketball, and that is a mismatch.
Big time. Ziegler will go to the free throw line when we come back. He's a great free throw shooter. He'll try to draw Tennessee within a single digit. 54-43. Florida the lead over Tennessee in the SEC tournament title game. 11:56 to play. This is the SEC Radio Network.
At Sprouts Farmers Market, we're all about fresh, healthy, and delicious. Every shopping trip is an adventure, with new and ahead-of-the-trend products hitting the shelves every month. From the latest mouth-watering vegan and gluten-free cookies to yummy plant-based protein bars, there's always something new to explore. Plus, find more than 2,800 Sprouts brand items filled with incredible flavor and better-for-you ingredients. Visit your neighborhood Sprouts today, the official grocer of the Southeastern Conference.
You're listening to the SEC Men's Basketball Tournament.
Wants to try another three. He'll make another three.
On the SEC Radio Network.
And if you want to grab a snack, grab a Farm Rich snack. Something about that song just makes me hungry. Well, any requests? Oh, how about some mozzarella sticks instead? Folks, it's time for me to grab a snack. Feel free to do the same. You can find Farm Rich in the freezer aisle. This next one goes out to all the cheese lovers out there.
We know that sport has the power to change lives on and off the field. But today, the majority of kids in the U.S. are no longer playing sports. As the leader in fueling athletes, Gatorade is committed to helping reverse this trend and creating positive change across our communities. That's why Gatorade has launched Fuel Tomorrow, a new multi-year initiative to help everyone have equal opportunity to play sports and realize their potential. Learn more about Gatorade's commitment to break down barriers and help millions of kids get into the game by visiting Gatorade.com/community.
54-43. Florida with the lead by 11. 11:56 to go in the SEC tournament title game. The high man so far in the game is Will Richard with 13. Clayton has 10. Elijah Martin has 8. So that's 31 of the 54 for Florida in that pick your poison guard rotation. They're so interchangeable, and they all have last names that are first names too. You know, how about that? They're so similar. You got Martin, Clayton, and Richard.
I think also, you know, when you think about the names of these guys, how well they've done all season.
Yeah.
I knew Tennessee was going to make an adjustment, and we were not going to see 100 points in today's game. That was not going to happen. Like I said, Tennessee's strength was going to the offensive board, but this is a team you got to eliminate that. You got to get back in transition and not get them easy buckets. And I thought Tennessee has done that a great job the first half as well as the second half.
At what sacrifice, though, and it's the offensive rebounding, as you've talked about. Tennessee only has 2 second chance points all game. This is a top 20 offensive rebound percentage group in the country. And you might say, right, well, these are all top teams. They should all be top tier in every stat. That's not the case. It's the combination of all of it. And to see a great offensive rebounding team like this just not have that as a weapon is a little jarring.
And every team has their own strength and weaknesses. You know, you got to know what works for you and what works for another team. But play to your identity. That's how you got to Championship Sunday.
Ziegler's first free throw arches up and through. That's his first point from the foul line, and it's a 10-point game, 54-44. The Gators over the Volunteers. Second foul shot. He bends the knees, and he scores. 54-45. Zakai Ziegler and Tennessee trying to fight back into this. You hear Ball faithful all around this place. Surround sound in orange. Clayton to drive. He dips it in with the right hand. Couldn't score. Follow for Houck on the left side is up and good on the 9th offensive rebound for Florida today. The Gators by 11.
Gotta love how he's a multiple effort jumper, and you can't always have that in your bigs.
Ziegler had it pinballed out of his hand. It's taken away. Clayton splitting 2. Down the lane. He lays it in with the right hand into the front court right. And Florida by 13 just like that. Another steal off Ziegler's palms. Ziegler turns it right. He ripped it there into the corner for a hard drive that's up and down. He found Gainey, who was undaunted for 2.
The baseline finish through contact is what both guards on both teams can do a great job of, exceptional at finishing through contact.
So tough in traffic as Houck turns and revs it down the right side lane line. His shot no good. Second chance, third chance, and he's finally fouled. Houck is absolutely relentless, an endless motor for him down low, and he'll get 2 free throws out of it.
And what I'm surprised Tennessee hasn't done yet is force him left. We talked about that the first half. He's been going right the whole tournament, and he's really good going right. So it's easier said than done, I guess.
First free throw on the way and through. Is it at all surprising with his level of toughness and grit that he grew up a big Tim Tebow fan?
Oh, wow. Out. I think that's what makes him tough.
That makes some sense, right?
Yes, it does. It does.
Or at least he had the gene in him, like, I respect that type of player, and he gravitated to Tebow as the free throw is good. I know you're a Kentucky guy, so you talking real nice about Tim Tebow probably puts you in hot water.
Hey, he's a Heisman Trophy winner, national champion. Nothing but good things to say about Tim Tebow.
And a foul called on an illegal screen against Tennessee. It's on Okpara. That's his third. 3 on Meshack, 3 on Okpara, 3 on Lanier, 3 on Milicic. That's it.
In heavy foul trouble right now. But you know, a team that doesn't have depth, every player is important for them.
That's exactly right. 60-47, Florida by 13. They'll string a pass far side to Near. Clayton for Aberdeen. Right back to Clayton on a skip. Screen from Houck. He shows it, then drifts to the right wing. You won't get the ball. Clayton runs it left instead. He's marked by Gainey. Fadeaway jump left. Elbow is off the bracket and out. Handlogged and tipped it. Tennessee also tipped it. It's out of bounds off the fouls. Okpara has his hands on his hips. He cannot believe it. He just went limp. He thought it was off of Handlogged. And instead, it is going to be Florida basketball. Doug Shows is hearing it from Rick Barnes on the Tennessee bench. And there's a big gasp from Rocky Top after the closed circuit replay. And they just pried it free of Houck anyway to get a steal. Ball don't lie, you said yesterday.
There you go.
Here is Lanier with a pass fake. He'll try to fan it right, and he does, into the hands of Gainey. He slinks toward the lane, kicks it for Meshack, driving into Handlogged. Push it out for Ziegler, breaking down the lane, kick it right corner after a shot fake 3 from Meshack, won't fall. Rebound deflected for a second chance finally for Tennessee. Gainey left wing 3, it's a bullseye. That's what happens when they get a second shot. Tennessee within 10, 60-50.
Yeah, where this game is at right now, you have to go out offensive rebound. Tennessee had been running a 1-2-2 half-court trap to slow him down.
Clayton low right. He got to the rim. He missed the shot. It trickled off. Just crawled over the tin. Rebound Tennessee, right to left. Gainey revs the engine. Down the lane. To the rim. Up with a right for 2 and a foul. Tennessee is swarming Florida on the comeback trail. It's an 8-point game. 60-52. Gators, 9:21 to play.
Hard to defend a drag screen in transition. Gainey kept his dribble alive, finished strong at the basket through contact.
I mean, tough as nails. Richard decked him, and Gainey still scored. 9:21 to play. He strides to the foul line. He takes a moment for himself, bends the knees, puts it up, and scores. That is a quick 6 for the Vols. A lead that was 13 has now shrunk to 7. Clayton throws it for Condon. 1 foot over the three-point line. Back into the right side. He'll drop it off Clayton. Shove it into the post. Condon tries a shot. Blocked at the rim by Okpara. Absolutely pancaked out of bounds. Okpara has taken full ownership of the rim on the right side. Florida will get it back with 10 to shoot. Clayton scanning, bouncing it low left. Condon taken away. Ziegler hit ahead. Gainey piercing the lane. Tried to dunk it. He got fouled and rattled out in Elijah Martin's mug. He had a front row seat for a Gainey near poster. Oh, you hear Rocky Top, don't you?
Like that, he went at his head. He was like, yes, meet me at the rim.
Gainey to the foul line. Tennessee has every ounce of energy right now.
I like the tenacity and intensity Gainey is playing with. He know right now they need his scoring, and he's stepping up.
Free throw is down. It banged around the rim and through. He's creeping up on 20 points for the day. Gainey is. He's at 19. Second foul shot, 2 dribbles, bending the knees, he rifles it up and scores. Tennessee's within 5. Suddenly we got a game again. 60-55 Florida. Clayton on the hunt for a response. Mirrored by Ziegler into the front court. They're both hunched over at the SEC logo, and a lob pass and a foul. There was a train wreck out in front, high on the left side, and we get a foul against Tennessee and Lanier. That's his 4th personal foul, and Florida will go to the free throw line. It has been blast off for Tennessee in the last minute and a half.
Yeah, one of those possessions that I know defensively Tennessee would love to have back. But when you think about Chaz Lanier, and Gainey and Ziegler, those guys are aggressive on the perimeter. You have to love the way they play defense.
It's been their calling card all year. Richards' free throw, he sizes it up, sends it flying and scores. Perfect from the foul line, Will Richard tonight.
And again, when you have guys that can make foul shots, the ball needs to be in the point guard's hand as well as the shooting guards of Richard and Martin.
It's in Richard's hand right now. 5 blue, up and good. Timeout Gators, the first timeout of this second half from a coach, so we have to step aside, though nobody wants to. Everybody's locked in here in Nashville. It's the Gators 62. It's the Volunteers 55. 8:47 to play in the SEC title game. This is the SEC Radio Network.
At Academy Sports and Outdoors, we've spent 80-plus years in the business of fun. Expert fishing fun. Early morning hunting fun. Late night, need new cleats before tomorrow morning's game. Fun. Relaxing fun. Mouth-watering fun. So whatever fun adventure you're gearing up for, you'll find it for less at Academy Sports and Outdoors and at academy.com.
On Southwest, everyone can change or cancel their flight without a fee. That means this solo travel queen can stay an extra day on vacay. No fee, baby. And these 2 lovebirds get 1 more day of freedom.
Our kids won't miss us. They're with me, Ma.
While this poor guy can bail on the bachelor party a night early.
I'm tired, man.
No change or cancel fees. For real. That's a big flex. Only at Southwest. Fare difference may apply. Failure to cancel a reservation at least 10 minutes prior to scheduled departure may result in forfeited flight credits.
Mercedes-Benz asks you this. What do elite athletes and luxury vehicles have in common? A winning drive for starters. Both are versatile, intelligent, and constantly innovating. Both.
What's up, basketball fans? Thanks so much for hanging out with us this afternoon for the SEC tournament. The first matchup of the day is underway, and we are so glad you're here hanging out with us. Now, please, it's the time of the show for you to let us know where in the world you're watching from. You see the link that's pinned in the chat? You see the link that's getting spammed out in the chat right now? Click that, and that's going to take you to our website to show you where everyone in the world is watching from. We'll see you back in the chat. Thanks for letting us know. Thanks for checking out the new website as well, and good luck to your team.
Our scoreboard guy, du jour and du week, and Tony Delk, Jason Benetti, here courtside, 62-55, Florida with the lead over Tennessee, 8:47 to go. Boy, this Tennessee run has been fueled by its defense, Tony.
Defense and also the offensive firepower of Gainey coming off the bench, their leading bench scorer. And we look at bench points, 28-13 and plus 15. Tennessee is one of those teams that can get multiple stops. If you're going to be able to stop a run, Tennessee is the team that can do it. All 5 guys are locked in. They play physical defense. And when the referees let them play to their strength, they're a tough team to beat.
They're just tough in general. And Tennessee has the last 10 points from Gainey. Jordan Gainey has 10 straight Tennessee points, 8 of them in the last 61 seconds. He has been such an important weapon, and that's why you said it during the break. How about Tennessee's bench scoring? 28 points off the bench, most of them Gainey.
We talked about depth, and right now, Tennessee's showing they have the bench to play with Florida, and they've done it this game.
Yeah, Rick Barnes has long felt that you only need 8, maybe 9.
Yeah, 7 or 8. That's all you need.
And now Tennessee trailing by 7, rushing into the front court. Ziegler hands it off right into the belly of Milicic, who has 3 fouls. The senior sprays it left. Here's Ziegler on the hunt down the left pocket. Give it to Milicic. Now Ziegler splits a couple, sears through the lane, floats it up and scores. 2 for Ziegler. Makes it a 5-point game again.
For all our guards out there listening, you have to add a floater to your game. No big can block that shot.
And he knows the angle so well. Condon a screen and a big spine-busting one. Got Martin free for a moment. Now they recover. Milicic on him. Chinyalu with a screen. Now Clayton right wing triple. In the air, it's good. Clayton has been Mr. Silencer in this tournament for Florida.
If one player you can't lose on offense and stay attached to has to be Walter Clayton Jr.
He buries a 3, and we get a foul away from the ball against the Gators. It'll be 2 shots coming up for Tennessee. It's Elijah Martin with his 3rd personal foul, and we will have another scheduled timeout. So 2 free throws for Tennessee coming when we come back. The Vols 14 for 18 from the line so far today.
Can't lose sight of Walter Clayton Jr. whenever he's on the perimeter.
He's just an unbelievable marksman. 38% for the year, all SEC first team, and he's extended the lead enough right now to be 8 for Florida. 65-57 over Tennessee. 7:57 to go. We'll step aside on the SEC Radio Network.
The Southeastern Conference. It's the land of legends, the places, the faces, and moments.
And he's going for it. It's a touchdown!
We've seen the confetti fall again and again. But we're not done. It's time for the next generation to make their mark and go from 14 deep to 16 strong. It's a whole new ball game in the SEC, and it just means more.
You're listening to coverage of the SEC Men's Basketball Tournament on the SEC Radio Network.
In SEC country, the key to our confidence comes from having a goal.
Number 3, ready?
And knowing just how we're going to get there.
8 seconds, it's plenty of time.
So in these pivotal moments, we come together for inspiration and a plan. Financial confidence in SEC country works that way too, when you and your banker get together to create your personal Regions Green Print plan.
I think that'll really work. Thanks.
So let's huddle up, because in an SEC world, we're the SEC Bank. Regions, official bank of the SEC, member FDIC.
T-Mobile 5G home internet keeps getting better. Get our fastest connection loaded with benefits. Get T-Mobile's best home internet starting at $55 a month with auto pay and any voice line. Plus, Price Lock. We won't raise your rate on internet. Check availability at T-Mobile.com/home internet.
Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. Guarantees regular monthly rate plan price of fixed wireless 5G internet data with qualifying service. After $15 bill credit with postpaid voice line plus $5 a month without auto pay with debit or bank account. Regulatory fees included for qualifying accounts. $35 connection charge applies. Speeds vary due to factors affecting cellular networks.
Florida 65, Tennessee 57, 7:57 to go with the Florida cheerleaders on the floor. Their team leading by 8. Before we go any further, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the SEC Radio Network. We are serenaded by Go Gators here in Nashville at Bridgestone Arena. Downtown Nashville has been overtaken by Tennessee supporters, but the Florida folks in attendance are seeing their team lead almost wire to wire.
Right.
Tennessee is coming back, though. They have shrunk the lead down to 8 from 13 here in the second half. If people are just joining us,
right,
how have they done it?
Well, they've done it by getting multiple stops. Tennessee is one of the most physical teams in the country, along with Houston, St. John. Those teams put so much pressure on you on the perimeter that if you don't have guys that are strong with the ball, guys that can play through contact, those teams will wear you down.
or guys that have played together, right? I mean, with all these piecemeal teams, kind of patchwork teams, Florida has the luxury of, you talked about it yesterday, I think it's a great point, of having so many guys that have played together now for at least a handful, at least 2 years. The free throw good for Ziegler.
Yeah, if you think about the chemistry and the synergy that the Florida Gators has, and then losing to Colorado last year, like, players remember that. They knew they had to come back and be better, and that's exactly what they've done.
Second free throw on the way and through. Ziegler makes it once again. A 6-point game. 65-59, Florida the lead. Pressure on for Tennessee. Turning up the juice on the stove. Inbound pass goes to Chinyelu, who will ladle it for Martin and play it back for Clayton, who stalks into the front court, punching down eye to eye with Zakai Ziegler. What a standoff this is. Ziegler reaches in. Clayton wards off on him. Ziegler follows him all the way down the lane. Clayton shot off the underside of the basket. Rebound down for Tennessee. Meshack is fouled. That was pride on pride. Clayton on Ziegler, and Tennessee gets the best of it at 7:39 to go.
You think about Zakai Ziegler, all the pressure, the physicality. He is not going to back down, and also Clayton Jr. is not going to back down. But Ziegler won at that time.
Yes, he did. He kind of baited him into the drive as 2 free throws coming for Jemai Meshack at 76%. Meshack has not scored yet today.
Really hasn't been looking for a shot. Once he misses the shot from outside, he's not a player that's going to be jacking up threes. His game is driving to the rim, getting offensive rebound, and playing tenacious defense.
All defensive team in the SEC. Is the first free throw no good. Off the back iron. They'll try to correct. He'll stare at the left side goal. 7:39 to play. Tennessee trailing by 6. Free throw on the way and good. Meshack has his first point. 65-60. Florida the lead. A wall of orange greets the Gator inbound. Clayton two-hands it for Condon, who nearly gave it right back to Clayton in traffic. He thought better of it. Here we go again. Clayton and Ziegler, mirror images. Clayton turns the corner on him this time. Kicks it right corner, and we have a whistle before the 3 from Hauk went in, and it's a push against Tennessee, so 2 free throws for the Gators. It's on Okpara. That's his 4th. He had 0 at halftime. He's got 4 in the second half.
Ooh. I don't know about that one. That was a slight little push in the back.
That's a tough 4th foul for a big.
That is. But once again, Zakai Ziegler is forcing him to the big and hoping that Clayton will try to shoot over.
Clayton's foul shot is through. 3 threes overall for Walter Clayton Jr. today. He had another one that was pulled back to a 2 because his foot was on the line. Florida by 6. Second foul shot rims around and through. 67-60, Gators with the lead. 7:29 to go, SEC title game. Here is Milicic on the floor with 3 personal fouls. Hasn't played a whole lot today. He's at the summit of the arc. He scans. He looks for a pass. Instead, he'll dribble to the right, try to hand it off for Gainey, who has been nails in the second half. Play it left for Meshack. Right back into the belly of Gainey, trying to drive, piercing the lane, driving on Clayton. His shot no good, but a foul called late. He had already thundered down to the deck, and the whistle came, and 2 free throws for Gainey.
Tennessee came down a couple possessions. When you have a player like Gainey and he has it going, you got to find a way to get him the ball. And I like that last play call. Gainey is being aggressive, getting to the rim.
He's been outstanding today. 20 points for Gainey. Couple of dribbles. His first foul shot is true.
And like, we talked about this earlier and even throughout the SEC tournament. Both teams have experienced backcourt, senior guards, guys you can trust and guys that know how to win the game late.
Second foul shot for Gainey is through. 67-62. Florida with the lead. 7:07 to go. And those guards are the reason Tennessee has maintained contact in a game that looked like it might slip away. Clayton uses Condon as a screener. Ziegler feeling him on the right side mirror. Handoff high on the left for Richard. Elbows out. Play it for Hauk. Bounce pass right side. Clayton had to reach for it. 12 to shoot. He will gun. Right wing. He swirls it down. Walter Clayton Jr. can just fix everything for this team. It's the Gators by 8.
He's so good. Late clock. I'm thinking they almost have to trap him to get the ball out of his hand.
Yeah, we've not seen that yet as Ziegler ducks down the lane. His righty floater turns into an alley-oop. Look what Okpara found.
Wow.
Aquara cleans it up and cleanly pushed it on through. Barely touched the rim. 70-64, Florida the lead. Clayton drags it out of the right corner, floats it for Condon. He's in a double. The ball hit him in the head as Meshack got the hand in, and a foul called on Tennessee. Condon looked a little like Red Panda for a minute. He didn't want to. The ball was on his skull, and he goes to the free throw line with Florida by 6. 6-11 to go, and the crowd does not like the call. It's against Meshack. It's his 4th.
I'm not a fan of that call. It's an aggressive play by Meshack. Let's see what happens with the foul line.
First one, too strong. You knew it.
What we said? Ball don't lie. Rasheed Wallace.
She's getting a lot of mileage.
He is. Yes, he is.
This weekend. Condon missed the free throw. The jeering continues from the partisans from Knoxville. Second foul shot from Condon. He bends the knees. He puts it up and scores. Chinyelu is going to sub in. So does Lanier for Ziegler now. So 6:11 to go. Zakai Ziegler comes out of the ball game with Florida up by 7.
He will not be over there too long.
You wouldn't imagine so. They're going to use Milicic as a point forward, walking it into the front court. Eyed by Hauk. Toss it left. Caught by Lanier. He's there to shoot. He rifles a 3. That's no good. And the rebound is wrestled away by Chinyelu. Florida basketball left to right. Chinyelu, a big screen. Clayton couldn't get around it, though, because the ball was tapped away by Meshack. Clayton got it back. Hook a pass up top. Hauk, fake to 3. Tries to drive. Gives it to Martin. Right side. Triple in the air. No dice. Rebound. Hauk. He hugged it down in a warm embrace. Somehow got it away from Tennessee. And Florida resets up by 7 with 5:30 to go. Hauk races to the right and gets fouled on the way through by Lanier, and that's 5 on Lanier.
Once again, Hauk likes to go which direction?
Right.
Right and right. I'm surprised no one from Tennessee has closed out and forced him to the left, but once again, easier said than done.
Good job turning us into Supertramp, by the way. If somebody yelled bloody well right, it would have been very fitting. But 5 on Lanier, he is done for the game. Rick Barnes just brought Ziegler out for Lanier to try to get the offense. He got a shot for Lanier.
Shot he wanted. He got the shot.
Free throw for Hauk.
You get your best shooter open wide, a wide open 3-point shot. That's all you can do. You can't make the shot for him.
And that's what he wanted. I mean, yes. Rick had him on the floor to create that play, and instead it's a foul out and a missed 3. What a big swing. Free throw good for Hauk. Florida by 9 again, 73-64. 5:25 to play. Tennessee into the front court. Milicic weaves it to the right. Throws it into the right corner. Here's a drive and kick. Baseline left. Meshack walks it out of there. High on the left, Gainey. Zing it for Ziegler. 12 to shoot. He'll drive. Pierces the lane. Right short corner kick out. Milicic 3. That's too strong off the bracket. Rebound tipped out of bounds. And it goes to the Gators at 5:05 to play. And maybe, just maybe, this thing that was right in their fingertips is going to prove to be elusive.
I think Tennessee has to find a way to get Gainey a shot. You have a couple of non-shooters on the court right now and guys that don't want to take shots, but Gainey has been doing the scoring for Tennessee.
He's got 22, a team high for Tennessee. Martin switching back to the right. He curls it left. Hauk didn't take the 3, thought better of it with a lead. Now Clayton met by Milicic, bumped and jostled by him. Here's Hauk, summit 3 on the way. It's an absolute bullseye. 76-64. Thomas Hauk has been dynamic in every game here in Nashville.
He does more than just drive right. He can take 3s from the outside. And we know he's an excellent offensive rebounder as well as a defensive rebounder.
Fadeaway jump, no good. They did get a shot for Gainey and a foul called as Richard crumples down in a heap. He got whacked as he pulled down the rebound and was trying to flee into the front court. That is on Meshack, and that's 5 on Jemai Meshack. So you lose an SEC all-defensive team performer. You've already lost Lanier at 18 points a game, your instant offense newcomer of the year. And this is turning into a bad mystery novel for Tennessee right now. We're running out of suspects.
We also got to think about with Meshack and Lanier going out, they got to learn from this game right now. Both of those guys have to stay on the court, and this is a great learning lesson for the Tennessee Vols backcourt, Meshack and Lanier.
That is a phenomenal point because they have a tournament they're going to try and win the next couple of weekends. 3 of them, in fact. Free throw good for Richard. 77-64. Florida the lead. 4:22 to go.
They have to play aggressive defense without foul. I know they are physical, but you have to use your hands, use your brain.
Free throw good for Richard. 2 for 2 at the line there. He's perfect at the line so far today in Nashville. Florida by 14. 78-64. 4:15 to play for the boys from Knoxville. It would be an epic comeback. Ziegler puts it in the blender, drives, and gets fouled. Ziegler just turning and twisting, an agitator as he goes to the free throw line.
What makes this Florida team so dangerous? You can get so close to them, but they have the scoring power to increase the lead because, once again, they know how to get multiple stops on the other end to get out and get easy buckets at the rim, and then they have multiple effort offensive rebounders. With Condon, we can go down the line. They all do a great job of boxing out, but also they watch the flight of the ball.
Free throw good for Ziegler. 4th foul against Elijah Martin, so he will leave. 2nd foul shot is true. 78-66. Florida the lead. Clayton will key it in against Ziegler. Clayton says somebody go deep. Instead, he'll toss it in the corner. Now Richard sees Houck flying deep on a streak route down the sideline. He'll hand it off for Clayton in the corner, and he'll circle it back out with the dribble against Milicic. Halfway through the shot clock, under 4 to play. A pendulum dribble for Clayton. Now he backpedals. A slow moonwalk against Milicic, who feels he's got to feel like he's on an island against Clayton here. 5 to shoot. He sizes up his prey. He fires a 3, and it's an air ball. It's saved by Tennessee, and here comes Zakai Ziegler into the front court, hustling into a crossover dribble. Foul line, kills the dribble, floats it up, got fouled. 2 free throws for Zakai Ziegler when we return, but those shoulders are carrying a heavy load, and it feels like if they're going to come back, he's going to do something superhuman.
He's a one-man fast break, and you have to get back and build a wall against the 5'9", tough Zakai Ziegler.
78-66 your score. Florida by 12. 3:34 to go in Nashville. One final timeout scheduled. This is the SEC Radio Network.
And if you want to grab a snack, grab a Farm Rich snack. Something about that song just makes me hungry. Well, any requests? Oh, how about some mozzarella sticks instead? Folks, it's time for me to grab a snack. Feel free to do the same. You can find Farm Rich in the freezer aisle. This next one goes out to all the cheese lovers out there.
We know that sport has the power to change lives on and off the field, but today, the majority of kids in the U.S. are no longer playing sports. As the leader in fueling athletes, Gatorade is committed to helping reverse this trend and creating positive change across our communities. That's why Gatorade has launched Fuel Tomorrow, a new multi-year initiative to help everyone have equal opportunity to play sports and realize their potential. Learn more about Gatorade's commitment to break down barriers and help millions of kids get into the game by visiting Gatorade.com/community.
T-Mobile 5G home internet keeps getting better. Get our fastest connection loaded with benefits. Get T-Mobile's best home internet starting at $55 a month with auto pay and any voice line. Plus, price lock. We won't raise your rate on internet. Check availability at T-Mobile.com/home internet.
Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. Guarantees regular monthly rate plan price of fixed wireless 5G internet data with qualifying service. After $15 bill credit with postpaid voice line plus $5 a month without auto pay with debit or bank account. Regulatory fees included for qualifying accounts. $35 connection charge applies. Speeds vary due to factors affecting cellular networks.
SEC basketball is brought to you all week long by Farm Rich, the official frozen snack of the SEC. Grab a snack. Pfizer, the official pneumococcal pneumonia vaccine awareness sponsor of the SEC. And by Sprouts Farmers Market, official healthy grocer of the SEC.
Florida is 3:34 away from an SEC tournament championship. 78-66. The Gators by 12. 3 and change remaining. Florida is plus 15 on the glass, Tony Delk. They have been relentless.
they have been, when you have multiple defenders on the perimeter, and once the ball goes up, these guys are great at tracking down the ball. And we talked about it, even on our defense, they gang rebound. The guards come back and rebound and help out the big. They just don't look at the bigs and say, hey, we need you guys to snatch all the rebounds. We got guards that understand long three-point shot, rebound long. We got to get back and help our bigs, and that's what they've done an excellent job of.
And they've got enough points off their bench, 18. Tennessee has 30 off its bench, 22 of those from Gainey. But Tennessee is very shorthanded right now. Lanier, their leading scorer for the season, is out with 5 fouls. Meshack out with 5 fouls. Their tremendous defensive guard as well as Ziegler toes on the left side foul line. His free throw is short. Zakai Ziegler misses for the first time today from the foul line. He was 6 for 6.
And I think we kind of talked about it. When you think about Florida getting into Tennessee leg, getting to the bench, that's what they've done.
Second free throw good, 78-67. Tennessee has shown some juice defensively, some pressure in the backcourt. And this will be a lob into the front court, caught by Hauk. He fades back and drops it off for Condon. And now Clayton high on the left side. Off to Condon against Okpara. Here's a dribble handoff going to Aberdeen. He's defended by Bishop Boswell off the bench for the first time today. Condon shimmies left, looks for a back cut, bounce it there. Richard lost it on the way through. Here comes Tennessee. Ziegler surging into the front court, down the left side of the lane. Shot at the right, no good. Rebound Hauk for a moment. It's taken away by Okpara. He elevates to score, and a timeout called by Tennessee at 78-69. 3:03 to go. They just couldn't slide the ball away into a fast break the other way.
Well, you had him back on transition trying to make a play. But right now, the clock is not on Tennessee's side. And what Florida's going to do, they're going to bleed that clock. They're going to bring it down and try to get the best available shot within that 30 seconds.
And Tennessee, I mean, depending on where this game goes, you start to say, when do you begin to foul? But Tennessee has to really be careful with who's fouling.
Yes.
Milicic has 3. Okpara has 4.
And this right now, this time in the game, especially with having Meshack and Lanier out, they're missing guys that can handle and defend on the perimeter.
Zakai Ziegler is having to carry a lot of this for Tennessee. It's Boswell, Gainey, Ziegler, Okpara, and Milicic on the floor for Tennessee. Clayton to inbound. He'll push it in the corner. Aberdeen to bounce it back for Clayton, and he's fouled by Boswell. Well, he's got 5 fouls to play with. But you don't want to foul Clayton. He's an 85% free throw shooter.
Yeah, he's been knocking shots, foul shots down, as well as tough on the perimeter shot. But the leadership, putting the ball in his hand, he's going to make the right decision.
He has been awesome in this tournament. At Iona 2 years ago, he took 107 free throws. He made 102 of them. He was 95.3% at the line, and that one is good. So there's fouling the wrong guy, and then there's this.
And plus, he's one of those guys, he wants the ball in his hand to get to the foul line.
Second one is true. You heard it. 80-69. It sounds like the net is in your living room. Our mics are so good.
Sounds great.
Into the front court, under 3 to play. Ziegler breaks into the paint, circles it back out. He's met by Hauk. He has to give it up top. Here's a drive for Gainey. His lefty runner is good. Tough for Gainey, who nearly got clotheslined. He's got 24. 80-71 Florida, and they will slow it down and put it in the clutches of Clayton Jr. Walter Clayton Jr. against a sidestepping Gainey, off a screen from Condon, floated for Hauk. He'll bolt past his man down the lane, righty scoop, no. Rebound down for Tennessee, and a foul called. Condon was on Milicic's back, and Condon called for his third. So not only is it an early shot, but it's a foul that leads to 2 free throws as well. And Tennessee, trailing by 9, gets a chance, as that's the 4th on Condon officially.
And allows Tennessee to set their defense. So you don't want to foul when you can slow Tennessee down. You want Tennessee to use as much clock as possible to bring the ball down the court. But right now, just getting guys in position where they can catch, finish at the rim.
Free throw for Milicic is no good. Off the bracket and out. He is from the resort town of Rovinj, Croatia. He comes to Tennessee by way of Charlotte, where he was an 82% free throw shooter last year with the 49ers. Foul shot is good that time. Straight on through for Milicic. 80-72. Florida the lead. 2:21 to go. Clayton will key it in, and he hooks a pass for Condon in the middle of his own lane to drop it off for Clayton. Tennessee will back off. They're going to play it straight up here. 2:13 to go. 80-72 Florida. Clayton standing and surveying. He has been an assassin for the Gators. He starts his run. Behind the back dribble. Steps to the right. Hooks a pass. Whipping it for Aberdeen. He carves the lane. Scoops it up and scores. Like an eagle swooping into the left side. Florida by 10. Aberdeen scores. On a weave for Tennessee. Here's Gainey right of the circle. He jumps for three. That's way left. Rebound down, out of bounds, off of Condon. And now he will, for the first time in this tournament, get the review he's looking for, because we're under 2 minutes at 1:42 remaining. He looked back at the official like, I didn't touch that thing.
Right.
And then they were already signaling for the review before he could suggest it to them.
Well, he's one of those guys that, all players think they're officials too. They're officials, think they're coaches, so in that case, he wanted to see if he can get a challenge. Let's see what happens here.
And he did. We're inside 2 minutes, so at 1:42 to play, the officials will go to the monitor. Joe Lindsay, Doug Shows, Byron Jarrett taking a look at this thing right now.
That's close.
Yeah, we're looking at a replay.
Maybe off his fingertips. I don't know. Let's see here.
The problem...
It's all about angles for us.
I know, yeah, we got all the angle. The problem for Condon is they said it was off of him in the first place, so they need enough evidence to overturn that call. We're watching here on the replay, or we were actually until they started showing some random Gator fans, which is a little bit of a tough beat, but they'll call whatever they're going to call, whether or not we watch 16 replays.
Like I said, it seems like the Gator fans who haven't won SEC Tournament Championship in how many years now?
11 years.
11 years.
Yeah.
Really, really close.
Very close.
Very close, very close.
Condon had the arm outstretched, and he didn't believe his fingertips touched it.
Let's see here. He might be right.
What would you say? If I said, Tony, everything's riding on this, what would you say?
The ball on the floor has been reversed.
Reverse it?
It will be
You
Florida
didn't have to pick. They got to it first. So, it is Florida basketball. They will break the huddle, and they'll have it with 1:42 to go. 82-72, Gators with the lead. If you're Tennessee and you play this straight up defensively, you're not going to see the ball, and you're going to be down at least 10 with 70 seconds left.
Well, Florida's doing a good job of making sure that they have one of the best decision-makers take the ball out, and also when the ball comes in, they can go right back to him.
Yep, Clayton will trigger it. Milicic jumping in front of him. He bounces it for Houck, who serves it right back to Clayton, as you said. So Clayton has it. Tennessee doesn't want to foul him. He's got 2 seconds to get into the front court. He does. He bowls past his man, hits Richard, who kicks it back out for Condon at the arc. And now, halfway through the shot clock, they will calm it down for a moment. Clayton, hash mark left, zips it inside Condon, turn it right side, three in the air, Richard around and out. Offensive rebound, Houck. Man, Florida's killed them on the offensive glass. Houck has been awesome.
He has been, that he has.
Condon plays it for Clayton, outside right, 6 to shoot, 1:04 to go. Clayton hooks it for Houck, top of the key. Turn it left, Martin a three. No good off the bracket. Rebound for Okpara. 55 seconds to go, Florida by 10. Outlet pass taken for Tennessee. Ziegler on the drive, tunneling down the lane. He lost it, Condon took it away. Clayton holding the ball. They're going to have to foul. Clayton jumps a pass for Richard at the midline. He's pushed into the backcourt. They didn't call a darn thing, which is somehow going to happen. And then a lob from Houck to the back door. And Martin smashes it home for the exclamation for Florida. That's a three for Ziegler that's down. It's 84-75. 9-point lead. Richard breaks into the front court, throws it for Condon. He'll lay it up and in. It's Florida by 11, 86-75. The Gators, 15 seconds to go. Ziegler down the lane, and he's fouled with 14.1 to go. Everybody froze because Richard got shoved into the backcourt. He was in the front court. No whistle came. But all Florida cares about right now is that the Gators are taking away a trophy in 14 seconds.
Yes, they are. They came in and showed that they are one of the best teams in the country against one of the best defensive teams in the country.
Man, oh man, this Florida team is
They're
unstoppable right now. Ziegler's free throw is good. Second one, Zakai Ziegler. He puts it up and scores, 86-77, Florida by 9. They inbound it. Clayton pushes it ahead. Condon's got it for Richard. No whistle. He had a Rocky Top player draped on his back, but Florida starts to whoop it up. They chomp all the way to the final. To their first trophy in a long while in this tournament, the Gators take down Tennessee 86-75 and steamroll as a 1 seed, very likely into the NCAA tournament. We will wrap it up from here in Nashville after this timeout. Gators 86, Tennessee 77. Florida wins the SEC tournament, and we'll be back in a couple minutes here on the SEC Radio Network.
Sonic Radio. It's time for my favorite segment, Ask the CIO. Hey, caller, you're on.
Hi, a big fan. I used to think I could never love another burger more than my favorite. Then I tried the Sonic Smasher. With its tangy smasher sauce, melty cheese, and hand-smashed Angus patties seared to crispy perfection. How do I tell my favorite burger it's been replaced?
Easy. You don't. It's a burger. It has no feelings.
Sonic Smasher. Try it as a double or triple. Live free, eat Sonic. See menu for details.
At Sprouts Farmers Market, we're all about fresh, healthy, and delicious. Every shopping trip is an adventure, with new and ahead-of-the-trend products hitting the shelves every month. From the latest mouth-watering vegan and gluten-free cookies to
Cheers, basketball fans. Who are you rooting for today in this matchup? Well, get loud in the chat, cheer them on, and hang out with a bunch of people from all over the world. And while we're doing that, the main reason is this SickKids Hospital and Toronto Sports Insider Bracket Mania campaign that is now live. It is underway. Please check the link that is in the description as well as pinned in the chat. And donate if you are able. If not, please share it out. We are going to raise, the goal is at least $100,000 for SickKids Hospital from now until a champion is crowned at the Final Four. We'll see you back in the chat. Go, whichever team it is you're going for. Go Gators.
Let's stir the jambalaya or the Italian sausage rigatoni. And you just watch. Johnsonville sausage links link people. Just like the sausage patties is a way people pat each other on the back. Okay, that I totally made up. But it's also very true. Keep it juicy out there.
A champion is crowned in the SEC. Time now for the postgame show. Brought to you by Mercedes-Benz, official luxury vehicle of the SEC. Stats, analysis, a full game recap, and more are coming up. Once again, let's go live inside Bridgestone Arena in Nashville.
86-77, your final score. Florida over Tennessee. The Gators do it behind 22 from Walter Clayton Jr., 17 for Will Richard, 13 for Condon, 10 for Elijah Martin. And they out-rebound a very good rebounding team, Tennessee, by 14 on the glass, plus 10 on the offensive glass, 39-25 your rebounding margin in this game. And the Gators were just too much from too many angles today.
They had many players that were able to put the ball on the floor, make shots. They made foul shots. They didn't take many threes because they didn't have to take many threes. We know how physical their guards can be on the perimeter guarding, Tennessee players. And we have to give Tennessee a lot of credit to get to this championship game and to only have, think about this, their best players, wasn't on the court at the time for them to take a lead. And give Florida a lot of credit. They played the best today.
They did, and they did throughout this tournament, hanging up 104 on Alabama yesterday in the semis, 95 against Mizzou on Friday, 86-77 here today. Florida by 9 over Tennessee. That's win number 30 for the Gators already this year. Their only losses, 3 of them on the road. The only home loss was against Mizzou, and the Gators should very easily transition into a 1 seed in the NCAA tournament with a 16 to await. That most people had them as a 1 seed. Tennessee should still be a 2.
Yes,
you would imagine after this loss today, along with Alabama. Auburn will be a 1 seed, so the SEC will be very well represented in the top 2 seed lines in the tournament.
Yeah, we just talked about how well they play. Florida is the backcourt of Richard Martin and Walter Clayton Jr. They have guys that can make plays. They have guys that can make late game free throws, and that's what makes them an excellent team.
Alex Condon, 13-9 for the Florida Gators. He joins us courtside. Alex, thank you so much for doing this. Congratulations.
Oh, thanks, guys. It's an awesome feeling. We're really happy with that.
What are you happiest with in this tournament the last 3 days from your team?
I'm just really happy that a lot of boys stepped up at different times. I know I didn't play my best tournament, but we have such a deep roster that guys can come in at any time and hoop that night. So we got such a deep team and a great coaching staff too. Yeah.
What was the goal of this team coming in, not only to this tournament, but to start the season?
I think the main goal, well, obviously to win a national championship, and this is the start of it right here. We got, I think, 6 more games to go, so we're going to take it game by game. This is a nice recognition of what we've done so far, but we got stuff ahead. So,
what makes you guys, as big specifically on this team, play so well together?
I just think our unselfishness. We look for each other in different situations, and it makes it harder to guard for the other team.
Well, it's been real hard to guard. What do you have to do to win a national title?
I think our main thing is defense. Our offense, we've got awesome offensive players like Walter Clayton. All our guards are amazing offensive players. So, if I think our bigs play their defensive roles, we're going to be good.
Alex, congratulations. Go enjoy with your team.
All right, thanks, boys. Thanks.
All right.
Take care.
Alex
Take care.
Condon,
Take care of yourself.
13-9 for the Florida Gators. Gave it 1 chomp on the way out. Tony, it's been an absolute pleasure sharing this basketball with you.
I've enjoyed it, man. It's been real.
Thank you so much, and thank you to everybody here for including me in this brilliant tournament. So for our entire crew, for Tony Delk, I'm Jason Benetti saying farewell. Stephen Hartzell will take you all the way home. This is the SEC Radio Network.
Severance Season 2 is now streaming on Apple TV+.
What you all did 5 months ago was one of the most painful moments in the history of this company.
Our message got out. We're famous.
All of us equally, or one of us is like the star?
What did you see?
My Audi's wife was Miss Casey.
If you wouldn't find out what happened to her, I'll help.
She's still alive. I want to see my wife.
You should have left.
Severance. New season now streaming. Only on Apple TV+.
At Academy Sports and Outdoors, we've spent 80-plus years in the business of fun. Expert fishing fun. Early morning hunting fun. Late night, need new cleats before tomorrow morning's game fun. Relaxing fun. Mouth-watering fun. So whatever fun...
Days to win the tournament. Michigan's done it twice. Iowa most recently with Keegan Murray and that great team. Wisconsin trying to do it today. They'll start Nolan Winter and Stephen Crowell, a couple of 7-footers up front, and then a 3-guard lineup. John Blackwell, the second leading scorer, came on strong late in the game yesterday against Michigan State. Max Klesmit, the the other guard, and then John Tonje, who has been on a torrid pace, 76 points in 3 games so far. That's a pretty good clip. He's 27 points away from tying the tournament record for most points in a single tournament. He was electric yesterday.
Oh, he was beyond electric, doing the inside, outside. You know, when they needed a big bucket, he was there. When they needed a stop, he was there. When you talk about guys who can do it all in this league, he's one of those guys that can do it all. His ability to control the team from so many different points. When I talk about the defensive end and the offensive end, and the way his team looks for him to take him over the top is always a wonderful thing, because you know he's a true leader on and off the court.
For Michigan, it'll be Trey Donaldson, who's had a resurgence here at the Big Ten tournament. Hit the game-winning layup yesterday with 0.4 of a second for Michigan against the Maryland Terrapins, and had a career high in assists in that game as well. In the backcourt with him, Nimari Burnett, Reuben Jones, the do-everything guard/forward, and then Area 51 as they're known. Number 50, Vlad Golden, 7'1", 260, leads the team in scoring, and the other 7'1", Danny Wolf, who operates as a point forward in this game. It's going to be a big one. What are you looking for in this matchup?
I'm looking for the matchup of Reuben Jones. Reuben Jones didn't have a big game last game. He fouled out, but he's going to go against Tajon, and that's what he needs to do. He needs to focus on that, not letting him tie or break that record of scoring. That is going to be, because we know what Area 51 is going to do. They're just going to dominate, but this is going to be an exciting game. I'm so excited for this tip-off.
Michigan in the maize head-to-toe with the blue numerals and lettering. Wisconsin in the Wisconsin scarlet red with white numbers and lettering. Wisconsin will go left to right. Michigan will go right to left. Vlad Golden and Stephen Crowell will jump it up.
Did you call that maize?
They do.
They call it maize? Okay.
Yeah.
I call it Laker gold.
It's pretty close, isn't it? Actually, it might be identical. We need those little things from Sherwin-Williams to match the colors.
Right? It's going to be a good game, man. I'm so excited. Great guard play, great big play. It's not very often you see both sides of the floor, they match up so evenly. You know, like usually one team has a better big than the other one, a better guard, but this is an evenly matched squad on both sides of the ball.
When was the last time we saw a starting lineup amongst 10 players where there were 4 7-footers?
I think NBA.
Yeah, right, and not for a while.
And not for a while. You think about the days of Shaquille O'Neal, you know, the Dwight Howards, the Elijah Warrens, the Patrick Ewings, Alonzo Mournings, the late Dikembe Mutombos. That's the last time you've seen centers just go head-to-head like this.
Yep, it really is. Love to see it. Vlad Golden, Stephen Crowell jumping it up. We are about ready to throw it in the air, and we are underway with the 2025 Big Ten Championship game. The opening tip-off of the Big Ten Championship game brought to you by Robinhood. Get a 3% IRA match, only $5 a month. Michigan with the offense first. Donaldson drives into the paint. A floater, no good. Rebound, John Blackwell. He'll push for Wisconsin. Their first matchup scored into the 60s, so pace will not be as fast, presumably, as it was before. Also, these teams are playing one their third game and the other their fourth game. Steal by Reuben Jones. A knockaway on the post entry. He was on Nolan Winter, the 7-foot forward, and he played around from the back and stole it.
Yeah,
Michigan into the front court.
Yeah, we talk about Jones' defensive prowess right there. He shows it on a bigger guy.
Burnett pops to the left wing, fires the three over the late closeout from Stephen Crowell and knocks it in. Burnett, we've seen him hit an early three, and now in each of the 3 games to get Michigan rolling.
Yeah, he liked that guy that's like, I'm going to take this first shot to get us going, and he's usually knocking down that first 3.
Max Klesmit at the point. He's left open, way behind the three-point line. Doesn't hesitate and bangs it home. Not a guy who looked for his offense really at all yesterday, but that one, they left him open and he took it down the lane. Inside, great pass from Trey Donaldson. He got to the Big Ten logo and then dish left to Danny Wolf, who came up with the up and under. Michigan ahead 5-3 over Wisconsin.
Yeah, speaking of Max, I was really excited to watch him play yesterday.